My boy had an
racing,
82.
racing like a motherfucker to get home.
Software, etc.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another Juices Loose podcast, and we're hoping Robert will join. He might have fell asleep. We never know.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Forget him.
So yeah, let's
Yeah.
just get into any clock that's here, because daylight savings time hasn't hit over there yet. So you want
Well,
to?
there's plenty of talk about that shit getting scrapped because it's so old and archaic.
It's
Yeah,
it makes no sense. But so since you haven't been on since you picked up or you got a few things, so you want to give your
yeah,
impressions of Elden Ring since you've been playing? We've been
yeah.
playing.
Well, I haven't, uh, I haven't even touched the game that shall not be named. Yeah, but yeah, all I've been
You
playing is Elden
started with
Ring.
the bad one?
That's yeah. But yeah, literally, I've got about 45 hours now in Elden Ring. So
Damn.
I'm playing it as hard as I was playing Persona 5 just to, not just to get through it, but when you play these 100-hour, 70-hour games, you need to stick with them, don't you? But I'm loving it. It's um me and Juice have played. I played online as well with some of my friends as well. The co-op is as funky as ever when it comes to these From Software games.
We had to just
Um,
to figure out how to do it is like a
Yeah.
chore and it's like a
They
game
try
in
they
itself.
try and make it, like like part of the lore of the story and stuff. But anyway, once you get into it, it's you can have some absolutely great and epic moments just galloping around discovering hidden dungeons and labyrinths and stuff and fighting world bosses
It's
or just
way yeah, because I'm like I was telling somebody today, I was like, I'm not gonna. There's like 180 like world bosses, main bosses. Like I'm not gonna spend 20 deaths every fucking boss trying to learn their moves with just a random cave where you get a pretty minor item. Like me and you go in
yeah.
there and maybe we died once on one of them, and we just go in there and we just one person distracts them, the other person hits them, and it to me it makes it way more I'd rather do that in a co-op situation than sit there and have to learn a boss's moves every fucking time and
Yeah,
die a
I mean,
bunch of times.
you still feel that you got like two different play styles with each other as well, so that's what I like about it. But yeah, I mean, overall the game is really good. The adventure side of it, feels good. I don't want to go into negatives and stuff, all I'll say is I am enjoying it, and I haven't tired of it yet. I hit a brick wall at one point where like a progression brick wall. I was just like, I can't even level up right now because I'm getting slayed and not quite sure where to go. No area seems right for me, and I nearly put the game down for a few days. But then I said to myself, no, manage your items, get your equipment done. Went back in, and I just slowly took my time picking each enemy apart in the area. And I progressed in, and I've been non-stop since it. So yeah, damn good game. Damn good game. Cheers, boys. Loving it.
Yeah, and I had the similar experience where I even at 32 hours in, I was like, you know what? I'm liking Pokemon more than this game still. But then another 8 hours with some excellent co-op in there, and I have to retake my tweet back. Like it definitely surged ahead for me for the two games I played this year. Elden Ring was like I had like a 6.5, 7 hour play session, and 3 of it was co-op with you. And almost
Yeah.
everything I did, I made progress. I didn't lose any major like runes. I defeated bosses. I got to new areas. I was just
If the co-op in that game wasn't so segmented where they forced you to disconnect and then reconnect just to go into certain areas, or if you kill someone you get disconnected again. If that overworld was more just connected, then as a co-op adventure game, shit, it'd be up there with Dragon's Dogma with me and stuff. It'd be so fucking good. But it's still good when you actually get it to work and you're there together.
yeah, it's crazy because for those that don't know, the two you have to be in the game. I have to be in the game. We have to be in the same spot in the world, and then if you're joining my world, you have to pull out your gold finger thing or whatever and mark a spot on the floor, and then you tell me, and then I forget what it's called. It looks like a little coil, like snake almost, and
yeah,
then
it's like a furlong.
that sends out like a wave, and then it makes your mark show up, and then I walk over to it, hit triangle, and then 30 seconds later you're in the world. but
it could only work in certain areas. So, like, if you're in the overworld and you find a dungeon, there'd be like an invisible, like there'd be like a misty wall on the dungeon entrance, so you can't actually enter together. Which means you got to kick the other person out of your game, run through that misty wall, which then disappears, and then invite the person back in just inside that doorway.
It's so stupid.
So,
but
crazy.
like you said, they didn't want people to just play the whole game, I guess.
No, it's just
But,
a very.
Why not though? Why not?
I know.
Yeah, the way it works, the way in their minds, they're like the Souls games that just you're meant to just get a little bit of help for a bit, and then get back to dealing with the harshes of the world by yourself, the adventure by yourself. So calling a bit of aid for the boss or for like a dungeon or small part, but then get lost.
Yeah,
but with Elden Ring, because you got that overworld, you can adventure a lot more, but then it also restricts you. You're not allowed to use your mount called Torrent, not allowed to use your horse in the overworld when you're in co-op, so you all have to just run everywhere.
Yeah, that's
the world is
tell
like huge.
they want to steer people to play it more single player. I disagree, Aries. Like it doesn't require co-op. I mean, seriously. I mean, I've 40 hours. I only played co-op for 4 of those hours. I've made plenty of progress. But it's a very enjoyable game. Later we'll talk about some of the
it doesn't require co-op, but like what we talked about before was a lot of people got this thing about the Souls games, and when I say the Souls games, we have to remember that Elden Ring and Bloodborne and Sekiro are fundamentally quite different to the actual Souls games, like Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 and stuff. But what they want you to do in Elden Ring is they do want you to use the spirits because they give you so many. Magic is such a new heavy feature in this game, especially like the summons and stuff. They do want to use it, but a lot of people get that old mentality of no, you've got to take that boss on all by yourself with no assists or anything like that. And they're not fundamentally assists. They are your powers, your elements, your magic to conjure up and use in whatever given situation. And not all these assists work in every given situation. There's no point in using your wolves on this massive boss who could just slam the floor and kill every single one of them all at the same time. You have to manage your skills and equipment. So
it's almost like Ocarina of Time. You had some Zelda games. You had magical moves that you know it didn't work the same, but it was like it used your magic meter and stuff. Like they call it FP in this game. It's like it's in there. And there's some diehard people who want to try to dictate how other people play the game, which is,
I mean, once you if you're like me, once you've completed the game, you feel the urge just to go in there, say, right, I'm just going to use my sword. I'm not even going to use my heal items. Let's just fucking go, and then just do it. They're fair enough, but the game wants you and offers you all of these abilities and moves. If they're there, use the motherfuckers. That's what I say.
All right. Well, Robert's here.
Hello.
So,
speaking of motherfuckers,
did anybody beat any games since the last couple weeks?
I'm close. I'm on the final boss of Halo Infinite. And that bitch is a bitch. God damn.
I did finish the one, the only Balan Wonderworld.
let's go.
What now?
The
Mega trash to me.
the PS5 Balan Wonderworld.
The PS5 version, even. Woo.
Yeah, it was.
Check you out.
Nice.
Yes, it's talk about just during the demo, right? It was Retro liked it. Me and Tito was okay. And then you had everyone else is bro, this is like really bad or whatever. Trash. And I was like trash. I'm like I don't know. I think it's a little too harsh, Percy. And the overall game, man, it's real bad. Like it's just
I thought you were gonna give it a little accolades or something.
No,
Rob is like the most positive person.
Yeah.
I know. That's
the most
what I was
positive people I know. So if he thinks this game is trash,
I
God,
love
I'm gonna struggle.
how long ago did you make your most anticipated games of 2021 video?
like over a year
and
ago
that
now.
made it. And I
Yeah.
instantly get in our group chat said, "Dude, Balin, like that game's like a 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10 type game just based off the trailer I seen."
The thing is, most of us were like that. I was like, oh come on, Naka, you can fucking do this. It looks like Knights. You know, it's got a bit of Billy Hatcher feel to it as well. Let's fucking go. You can do this, and that's why we were so
No, he fucking
disappointed. You know?
couldn't. You
No,
couldn't do it.
I
How you gonna do a
like,
goddamn
game.
thing?
Like
Well,
I
it's
Like
want
the last time
Robert
he
to,
made a good game was fucking
I
Billy
want
Hatcher.
Robert to like talk about it, but you can't give any negatives.
Yeah.
well, for one,
It's a
not good.
conversation.
It's not good.
well, no, for one, I was, in terms of good things, it's everything surrounding the gameplay. Which is, like for instance, visually, it's really good. On PS5, it's got a really clean art style. I think personally, the worlds are potentially really cool. The actual
Like how the potential
choices.
in there.
The environment choices are really again cool, but they're not used well, and
Like
they're
all
not
the
and they're
pros of a Sonic
not
game.
designed
Yeah.
well.
Well, that's the thing. Like me clocked it, like in retro, we got pulled in by all the other stuff because we're
It's the vision
know,
and the music.
we're
The music's
fans of,
really good
like,
throughout
that,
the whole
that
game.
Sega stuff,
Yeah.
that old Sega style, that Knights kind of thing, and that's what we got pulled into. So we were like maybe a little bit overly optimistic because of that, but
Yeah.
we thought, there's no way you can completely shit the bed and ruin this. And they
Do you know what hurts me the
bed.
most? You know what hurts me the most is it's not even Yuji Naka, right? It's
Yeah.
Naoto Oshima, and whenever we say Yuji Naka, we always think Sonic Team, Sonic the Hedgehog, Fancy Sonaha, and he is director for Sam. He was mostly a programmer for for the vast majority of stuff that that his name is attached to. But Naoto Oshima, he was a character designer, the main character designer of Sonic the Hedgehog, of Knights, of Burning Rangers, Sonic Guard, and just you name it, he was the dude. So when I look at Balan Wonderworld and I see the character designs and stuff, I'm like, what the fuck happened, dude?
Like that farmer dude.
How do I'm like, how do you go from greatness to this? I just don't get it.
I think Balin looks kind of cool. The main dude in
Well,
photos.
yeah. So that's the thing. Also, is like,
Right.
why is it that they made the game right, Balan Wonderworld, and you don't play as him?
And he's
it's
just
the
like-
weirdest thing.
In that cutscene, he's just there for
It's
no
just
reason.
little
He
mini,
just shows up.
mini game cutscene things.
And,
And it's just like,
by the way,
that's-
that little mini game thing, I could
It's just a
rant.
quick time
but
event.
I wanna-
It
I
happens
really
over and
just wanna
over,
say-
doesn't it?
I honestly want to make a video on this because
Do
you
it.
can talk, but like that whole quick time event sort of thing, it's actually more important than you would think, because if you get it perfect, every single thing, like all the silhouette, the silhouette, you have to time it excellent, literally,
Right.
and you get a statue, and statues go towards your progress to actually unlock and further worlds. And they're definitely more strict with it than 3D World. 3D World, I feel like they're pretty lenient, like to at least progress through the main story. Like, so if you kind of slacked on the green stars, you're still fine. You're gonna be able to go through. But then the later worlds, but like, to me, every single time I got to like the point where I had to actually progress, I always made it just enough, like, so it'd be like 80 out of 80. I'm like, Jesus, they are so tight with these damn statues.
Yeah.
And that was with getting a handful of those Balan, they're called Balan bouts. And you have to get excellent on every single turn on that whole minigame thing. And you think, oh, well, I could definitely get it. But I mean, come on, like, the odds of you getting it every single time, right? Like,
Is that where you
5
got
times
the
in a row.
shapes where he's like going?
Yeah,
through?
you have the shape. You have to get excellent. And the thing is, it's not great or good or oops. You have to get the literal perfect point, and then you'll get a statue. If you even get one, I'm talking about you get 4 excellence and 1 great, you do not get a statue. And it's so bullshit because you can't even redo it. It disappears. You have to beat the boss of that world, and then go
start
back to that
really
spot where that thing is.
Yeah,
and
this
then
needs
play
a
that.
video.
It's
But,
so
Yeah, I just wanted to
bizarre.
say, so we can get off Balan Wonderworld because we should not be on it this long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a good game there.
No,
It
well,
just needed.
100%.
There is a good
No,
game there.
no.
It just needed
no.
editing. There's way too many transformations that
Yes.
are completely
And
pointless.
jump
right?
should be almost.
I want to put this in context. to get more context on the story, he released a light novel around the same time as the game release.
The story, man, I don't give two shits about story wise.
Well, no. What irks me
bizarre.
about it, it does that same dumb shit I think the original Destiny did, where it's like, well, hey, look, we're playing this game. I wonder what we're playing. I wonder what these characters are about. Well, we're not gonna tell you in the game. You gotta get the supplementary material to figure all that shit out. And I'm just
Man,
like,
that would be fine if the game.
Why would you do that?
No, wait.
What's the story of Knights? What's
Yeah,
the story of
exactly,
Knights?
T. Exactly,
Like,
because when we
at
all
least
But
played
why
it's
the
have those
game.
epic cutscenes and those high
we all
quality
played the
fucking
demo,
That's
cinematics?
part of the
we
game.
had-
It's really like up in the air. It's not like succinct and like this is the story, blah blah blah. It's kind of just, oh look, this kid's getting bullied, and oh now he's in a nightmare world. Like
Yes,
there's nothing that does that completely ties
There's
a
no
strong
deep
narrative
story
together.
that's gonna go, even
That's
if you read
fine.
a book.
It's not
Even if you
deep
read a
story.
book,
My
trust
issue
me, there's no
isn't.
fucking deep story going on there.
No,
It's
no.
fine.
My issue isn't deep story. The fact that
Hell, even
some
Billy
basic
Hatcher.
content. I'm saying basic context was missing from Bound Wonderland for no
If I'm
reason.
being honest, I don't
what I'm
even know
saying
what
is
the
you don't really
context
need
was.
that because we've had games that are similar
Yeah.
that just kind of giving that same Billy Hatcher. There's not a strong narrative in Billy Hatcher. Oh, the kid wakes up and he has a fucking he has a cuckoo suit on and he can turn into a chicken and like there's no strong like narrative there. That fits for fans of that type of game. So it could have
Yeah.
worked, is what I'm saying. Maybe it didn't work for you. It wouldn't have draw you in, but I think fans of the game at least would have been like, "Oh, okay, that's cool. I can rock with that," because we didn't really need that for Knights.
Stretcher, why'd you
We
ask
need
that
for-
bullshit ass question in the fucking chat? What is that bullshit?
Anybody
ass
in the
question you
chat
asked
play
in the chat?
Balin? Anybody like it? But anyway, we're gonna get to this. We're gonna play a Retro Desk box art guessing game.
Oh,
I
shit.
Let me
made
get
it.
a bigger screen now. Let me
I
get a bigger
made it.
screen.
I'm gonna share my screen. So this is mainly so Retro can play and to test Robert because he
This
seems
shit
to be a
over.
savant at this.
Why can't you just let Rob have his victory? I don't understand.
I gotta see if he just got lucky or
I like,
if
how
he's
they,
just
I like
like
how they don't trust him at
if he's
all.
just a
I
natural.
know.
He might just be a natural
No,
for
he's
this.
gonna pick all games that I have no fucking clue.
Robert, I don't know what you did.
So
to
here's
cheat
the
that.
here's
You
the
are
category.
just
He's-
fuck,
He
apparently.
broke the man.
Here's the
categories.
category. Games Robert has played.
Oh,
Oh, that's not good.
okay.
It's like 1,000 games.
He has
We
some
also
good
know there's
ones.
nothing new. We know there's nothing new on there.
And one
So
of
we're
them's
good.
balanced, so that's just bullshit.
Yeah,
Are
he played-
you doing the same thing when you count down? We go in the chatty.
Yep. So let me share my screen. We got the first image up, and
Oh,
there.
really? Oh shit.
you guys
Wait.
I
ready?
can't see shit.
Huh?
Oh,
Open it
Oh.
up.
Wait. Let me watch the stream.
Oh man.
Not
what
you don't have to watch the stream. Do it in Discord or do it. Yeah, do it in
This-
No,
Discord.
that's what I mean. You click watch the stream.
You
stream.
still had to click watch stream in this.
Oh yeah, you
Right,
gotta hit
right.
watch stream. That's right.
This man did a giant orange.
Oh, this is bullshit.
Okay, so countdown's going.
Why are you joking?
I actually thought this one was gonna be pretty easy.
How?
All right,
Oh, I
start
know
typing your guesses. Start typing your guesses.
I'm sure when I see it, I'm like, oh, but dude,
I
it's
can't
literally
think of the name.
orange. It's an orange thing with
that
the.
could possibly be.
I know
I
this.
have no fucking idea.
Here's. You want a hint? Anybody want a hint?
No,
Can't- give me-
there's
No,
no
Yeah, I guess
hints.
no,
we're not
yeah.
doing
All right,
that.
start
We're not
typing.
doing
I'm gonna do that.
Got 10
No hit,
seconds.
no hit.
But if they're all gonna be like this, Jesus fucking.
I know what
Christ.
it's gonna be.
Just start typing, and then I'll tell you when you guys are. Anybody? Robert, you typed?
I'm ready.
I already
I'm ready.
tried.
All right, hit it.
I don't think I'm right, but okay.
Hit it.
Just-
Oh, and they got to be exact, just like Retro Desk rules. So retro, that wouldn't even counted. That's not the full name.
Okay. Fudge.
God,
You're gonna be really disappointed, T. You're gonna be really disappointed.
I know I am because I know I know that color.
Where you at?
Yeah, let's
Collected?
just let's see. No way!
Oh,
I
So
mean, yeah,
wait
that
there.
makes sense. It's literally
Right, for the
almost like that.
start, Retro made sure he had box art for all regions, right?
Oh,
We all
okay.
shared it. Now
We
our
don't
Zelda
have that
box
box
art.
Oh, your
art.
box art's
is
different.
Black and golden. It's
Okay,
completely
so you
different.
guys,
That's
no
true.
negative for you
That is
guys.
true.
And so wait there. Where were you actually zoomed in? What was the curve
It's
part?
the shield. It was this corner of the shield. I thought just the color would give it away. I actually added
Because
that.
ours
Yeah, the
is
color,
full
like,
black.
I
and
know
the
this
logo
color.
is
Okay.
How
yellow.
can I?
I didn't. This was meant for Robert.
wait,
I made this game for
wait, hold on,
Robert.
we all
only
get
got the
negative
collector's
points, though?
edition.
Wait, we
No
all get
negatives.
We didn't get negative
No,
points
I
last
didn't say
time.
that. No.
I thought
All
you
right,
said
ready?
that.
Next one.
Oh, I know this one.
Oh.
I know this
Bruh.
one.
Again, I made this for Robert to test Robert, but I figured at the last minute.
I got this one though. This one I got.
I'm pretty sure I know this one.
And I will say, technically, the chat shouldn't really guess because.
Now watch.
Well, chat can guess when I say guess. Okay.
Yeah, I would say yeah when you say yes because they're
You guys all ready?
Yeah.
All right, hit enter.
Damn, you guys also got.
Oh man, that is
Ret-
it.
What? Damn.
Let's go.
You know how you can
So,
tell?
there's the
retro
steering
death.
wheel. God damn it.
You know how you can tell?
Inside
Because
Geek
That
Green.
wheel.
Margaret Wee has the whitest box art.
Yeah,
Came
yeah.
in with me.
The 3D land. The 3D land
I was
also
too
has
slow
white
typing.
back. But I was like, oh yeah, that's the steering wheel back there. Fuck
It's
off.
wider than Wonder Bread.
All right, next one. God damn, I
Oh
can't.
my god.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Remember games Robert
Oh,
played.
Games I've played.
I think I know what this is. I think I know what this is.
Yeah.
I don't have a clue on these.
I
stupid
don't know.
questions.
I don't know
have-
about the European region
Too damn
on
close.
some of these.
I have
And-
2 guesses, but it's either one or the other, and I bet it's the other one if I'm not
I
right.
have no idea.
And they're not all Nintendo systems either, I should say. They're not all Nintendo.
Well, I would
games.
assume so. I wouldn't assume that anyway.
All
Robert's
right.
a real gamer.
5, 4,
Oh.
3,
Nintendo.
2, 1. Enter. Robert's still typing.
How about it?
The Safari Park.
Yeah, that's how I was thinking.
Oh, it's The Last of Us. That's a
I
good guess.
wanted to do the last one.
Ah,
I should have gone with
God
that.
damn it.
Terrell, 2 and 0. 2 for 2.
I thought it was Wilder. Like,
That was a hot.
fucking.
I
That's
was,
the fucking.
you know what I thought it was? I thought it was either Last of Us or Uncharted.
Where the hell is that shit?
I'm gonna take a.
I'll be
I'm gonna take a
shocked
shot
if
at
Robert
Robert.
doesn't
Last
get
of
this.
Us. I should have done it.
I mean, yeah, I didn't think of the last because I totally forgot about that. To be honest.
I'm gonna take a shot in the dark here. It's
I know this one.
That's
do you?
Oh show.
I think this was the first one I thought would be borderline too easy. You ready?
Right. If it's too easy.
It's
I'm
too
ready,
easy.
Hit-
but I'm not
Hit
sure.
enter. Hit enter.
Yeah.
Well, again, I made these with just Robert in mind, so I wasn't.
Oh
planning.
fuck!
Yeah, you guys got it right. I just realized. Yeah, you guys,
Retro
you guys got it right.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys got it right.
Type again.
Am
Yeah.
I?
Well,
Am
you
I
guys said
I
that
would
you
have
guys
been
said
wrong
it
on
makes
that one
sense.
anyway.
in my
Yeah.
original? In
Why am I
my
getting-
original game, I
Bro, how am
wanted
I
to
not
add
getting
this
shit that I
one,
played?
but we have a different box art of this.
Do you?
Because
Oh, do you?
I wanted to do the red helmet, and I want to look at it. It's slightly different, our box art. I don't know if we have the planets. I think
Damn.
we have like something mechanical behind it.
As soon
That's
as I
pretty
saw
good, though.
retro type it, I went, "Fuck, you're right." That
Oh, okay, I know this one. All right, I
oh,
do know this one though.
I'm gonna take
That's
a shot here.
confident. That's confident, Robert.
I do. Yeah, if I get this one wrong, I got
He's
it, that one.
he's
Right,
down.
Hold on.
Certain.
Now hold on a second. I think
Fucking
pretty sure I got
Photoshop
this
ass
right.
background.
I think I
5,
got this right.
4,
I-
3.
That Photoshop gradient
2.
background. What the fuck?
And give Clock this some time
Enter.
before showing the game.
Oops, I screwed up. I didn't
Oh,
No, it's Lynn! Fuck! Shit! See, I
So,
had a
clocked
feeling it was
it.
Lynn, but I was like,
I
no,
wasn't confident.
But I
I
was
got
like,
the D in 3D. What the fuck? bro?
Retro.
My shit
I
still
don't
counts.
remember the.
Oh, sorry,
I don't
Terrell.
remember the. I don't remember that pattern in the back of land though. Oh man, dude, I'm getting
What in
destroyed
the
right now, man.
fuck?
Oh, I know this one. Hold on, now I know this one.
Sorry,
I
it's
have-
hard to find box art images that aren't super small, so I had to
I
like.
know. Trust me, I know.
I have no fucking idea.
I don't know
Did
what
you
that
put
was.
large in the?
If I don't get
Sir?
this, I'm gonna be annoyed as hell.
Some of them you can't
You
even find the
wanna-
box art. T, it's like fucking
I
impossible.
don't know
Some-
what the fuck.
Oh wait, maybe this
what
is
the
it.
hell?
Actually, you know
Oh, you
what?
got-
You know what? I actually think I might be wrong with this.
4,
Actually, shit.
3,
Hold on.
2,
Wait,
Fuck.
wait, I gotta change. I gotta change it.
1.
I don't even know. I can't even guess.
Hit enter.
Hold on.
Hold on. Wait. Now he's saying hold on.
I had no fucking idea.
Yeah, of course it is. I think Retro's got
Oh,
it.
fuck me.
Yes. All right. Cool.
Robert,
Dang.
you got it? Shit, I was hoping
Yeah.
you wouldn't.
Oh,
Retro.
your,
Interior?
your stream has gone super pixelated for me.
Mine?
Done. Oh Lord, I should have known.
What's the
You know
score
what?
right
I
now?
haven't looked at this box.
Shadow
out.
of Collis.
Retro has 4. Terrell has 2. T has 2. Clocked at 1. Robert has 2.
I don't think I have this one. I actually don't think I got this one.
Oh, this one's kind of.
I can't see this little tiny ass shit.
This one was super low quality too.
Hold on. Let me make this big.
Hold on.
Once you see it, then you'll know. Maybe for the some of the future guesses might give you.
What is it?
I have no
Can I? Okay, yeah.
And this
Yeah,
is
once you
a
say-
European box art, but they were the same. This one for sure was.
Oh,
the
this
same.
is a European
It's
box
the
art, or
same.
this-
They were the same. I just
Okay.
Really?
the only image I could find had a Peggy.
I have no fucking
All right,
idea.
hit enter in 3, 2, 1.
I think I'm wrong on this one as well. I guess it either.
Oh yeah, I just threw
I don't
some
got
shit
this
out.
one. I know it's not, but I
Look at T. Look at this motherfucker. There's a T.
No
Ocarina of
way.
Time 3D.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yo, T, that's a good.
The
ass
thing
guess.
is, I
That's
didn't
impressive. never
I didn't
actually-
guess Ocarina of Time 3D, and it is a different box art as well.
We have a
That
reverse. We have a reverse cover though. I have this one on the inside of mine.
That's
Well,
a
I,
Peggy.
well, I
Right,
remember
okay.
the 3D box art being
Yeah,
like
I know it's
yellow.
Peggy, but that's not the default artwork for
Oh,
Ocarina
it
of
is.
Time
Gold shit,
3D.
I'm
That's
like,
the one
and
that came up.
etching, I'm like, that's 3D.
All right. Well,
Ocarina of Time.
anybody?
That
Only
one
T
was
got
good.
that.
I also, okay, I know this one.
I know this one too, but I can't say it. I can't say what it is.
All right, it's
I've
Full
seen it.
title. Full title.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
damn. I'm literally doing better. The other one just guessing shit that I'd never even played and stuff that I had barely seen as much. I still can't believe I got tanks from it. Even though technically got it wrong, but I was like,
Mhm.
I don't know.
how
You
did I
guys
get
ready?
that? Like,
Hit
I'm ready. I'm not
3,
sure.
2.
I'm
Retro will be very disappointed you don't get this. That's my hint for you.
I'm
Oh,
struggling
crap.
this time.
Shut up, bro. You shouldn't have said that.
Oh no, this isn't it. Fuck.
3, 2, 1. Hit enter.
I know this isn't it, but I ain't got anything else.
yes.
Robert
Oh!
making a comeback.
I literally just
I
looked at
have
that
it.
fucking thing today.
Standing
It's like right
right there.
And I thought about it too. And I was like, that doesn't make sense for retro. I thought
Oh,
it'd be...
come
Next
on,
one.
man. Oh, this is super pixelated. I can't...
I know.
Yeah,
Oh,
get
yeah,
it.
the
Yeah.
stream's gone terrible.
Has it?
Oh,
see.
dude. I definitely. This
For
is
us, it has.
Oops.
I have no idea. I'm just gonna guess.
yeah. Man, if
Yeah,
this is a
same
game.
yet.
Oh.
Oh, I know what this is.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Now I think I know. Now I
the
think I know.
fucking thing on pixelated, and I got it. I know
Yeah.
what it is.
There's
Now I think
something
I
in there.
But you can't say any hints though.
I'll just say that's
think I
like
know
a,
what it is.
That's like a smoke that, if you
Yeah,
can't
I
tell, it's
know.
like a dark smoky effect.
I know what it is.
All right, 3, 2, 1, hit enter.
God damn it.
Damn.
Clock.
These shits is all. Oh, what? I should be ashamed.
Oh, you said Death Stranding?
Oh,
Stranding!
Robert, that
I'm
came in
ashamed
late.
of
That came in
myself. I
late.
just hit right here on the table.
Bro, I actually have not played Death Stranding. I own it though. To be fair, I do own it.
Oh, I knew you owned
What
it. I
the
thought you
fuck?
played it.
What is this?
God damn.
I think I know what this one is, but I don't know which one it is.
Ah man, so it's a series.
That's my guess anyway.
Um,
I'm gonna just take a shot in the dark and think it's this one.
If you
I
don't
want
want
to think it's.
I will take abbreviations on like certain names too.
okay, so this is a long title. You give me all these damn hints.
That's like a
You give me
mind.
these
Yeah,
hints.
you don't have to type out
yo,
exactly.
You can't be giving hints. Yo, makes it a little bit easier.
You guys all ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, hit enter.
I don't know.
Oh no!
I fucked up the goddamn subtitle.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Didn't even guess.
If you had Metroid Prime 3, I'll give it to you.
Because I fucked. I was like,
You had Echoes?
I'm thinking two is Echoes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
that's close
what it
enough.
Fuck me.
I'm not
I knew-
Retro
I-
Death. I'll give you that. Metroid Prime
Okay,
3 is
good.
close enough.
You got the right one. You got the right one.
I don't see
Hey,
clocked its answer. What did you guess?
I could guess anything. I could.
Oh.
When I don't get it, I just
Powered
don't guess.
sword.
Oh, this is.
Oh, I know that. That's easy.
I don't think I know this. Yet.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm
on
not
this one.
100% sure on which of these damn.
That's why I picked two that had very similar white backgrounds, or a couple.
I think I got this one.
And maybe it has a different art in Europe. I don't know. 3, 2, 1, enter.
I'm saying it's easy. I'm probably wrong as shit.
Oh shit!
T
I
got it.
I
Oh yeah, Robert's in the lead now.
Guess.
Robert's got 6.
I hard guessed on that one.
Oh,
I don't
T also
know
has-
that one.
He
Oh,
also has
Terrell,
6?
nice. Yeah, you're in the
hard
lead,
guess.
Robert. Yeah, you're doing
I
good now.
hard guessed on that because I damn sure
I can't believe you
wasn't
didn't get The
sure.
Last of Us though. Like that one.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have this either. What is this shit? All I see is darkness. Pixelated. Hold on. Let's hopefully it goes out of. Come on, go focus.
I'll give you a hint.
I'm cheating.
Think back to earlier in the game. Something I did earlier in the game.
Man,
That's a hint.
They got some shit together. You trying to help me, man? I don't know what y'all talking about.
Oh, here it goes. Here it goes.
Oh wait,
Oh.
no, I might be wrong.
The fuck is it called?
I don't think I got this right.
I might
but
be
maybe.
wrong on this one.
This
I'll be real
one
with
was
you.
to try to trick him.
Ow.
Let's try to mess you up.
I
Ready?
I think I'm wrong.
Put your guesses in. 3, 2, 1. T still typing.
I don't know.
Yeah, this was
I
a trick
can't answer.
question.
Oh, you bitch!
I wanted to do that, but
Oh, Robert got it.
Fucking got
That's
I was like, wait.
Robert, that's
Wait,
smart.
The little.
I knew it was a Sony game, man. Like pretty.
Robert's just good at this
pretty
shit,
movie
man.
looking shit.
I thought it was.
See,
I thought
I
it was
made
Zombie
this and I
Motorcyclist.
had to I'm looking at this and it took me 5 seconds to remember what game this was from. And I made this fucking game. Like, I mean,
I don't think I have this.
I put this
actually
together.
genuinely don't think I have this right. I'll
Thought
be
it was
honest.
Zombie Motorcyclist. Man.
Genuinely don't think I have this right, but that's all I could guess because I don't know a lot of birds.
this one's tough. This one was this was actually going to be the last one, but I added more.
Oh shit!
I think I knew it, but
Here's my hint. It's the greatest game ever made.
Ori, well, come on, yeah, that's
Everyone's done typing.
Oh, okay.
Send it.
Well,
Sorry,
I was not done typing.
Oh,
well,
sorry.
in that case, then it makes it obvious.
We have a different cover for Breath of the Wild.
You guys
What?
have a
Did you
different
really?
cover?
We have a different cover for
it's
Breath
like
of the
blue
Wild.
and Link is like looking at
It's
you and shit.
Oh
extremely
yeah,
Right,
that other
right.
one.
I still got it though.
Yeah, Robert
No,
did.
okay.
He did get it.
I typed it before you said the greatest game of all time, by the way. But at the same time,
All right,
damn,
next.
I wouldn't say that as too.
Oh, what the fuck am I looking at?
Yeah, what is
This one's really
know what this
pixelated,
is.
man.
I know.
I don't
what
think I
this
would get-
is, but I don't know which one it is.
There is
Or
only
maybe
one.
I'm lying.
There's only
motherfucker.
one.
Wait, okay, I actually do. I think I know what this is then. I think I know what this is. I actually think I know what this is.
No,
Did you say there's only one?
Clocked It should get this.
I think I know this.
Oh,
that didn't help me at all.
I think I know this.
Fuck.
I
I have
think
no
I-
idea.
fuck. That's not what it's called.
I have no. You know what?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my guess. I
Let me
might be
make out
wrong.
that
All right,
pattern.
guys. Put your
I have
guesses
no
in.
fucking idea. I have no idea, dog.
We done? We go?
Put your guesses in. Anybody?
I'll put it in. Okay.
Yep. You guys are gonna be killing. Clocked, you're gonna be mad at yourself.
Wow.
No!
Let's go.
That's not fair. He just played that shit.
Fucking Robert, man. I kind of thought you'd get that one.
There was no way for me.
Oh, okay, I got this one.
I only looked at the box art for 2 seconds. That shit was like,
I think this is it. I'd be surprised if this actually isn't it, but
I couldn't
think this is it.
literally couldn't make this any bigger without it being a dead giveaway.
This has got to be it.
Well,
This
I'm gonna take
has-
this.
I got it. I got this one.
Yeah, Robert, fucking. This is his
No,
game,
I
man.
know- Well, he ain't play that.
I'm just
so-
gonna type it, but I don't think it's right. But I'm gonna just type it because the only thing that comes to mind when I see it.
There's 2 more after this.
Fuck, I
All
don't
right.
know.
Enter. Oh, where's my photo thing?
Yeah, buddy. I was hoping no one said it. Let's go.
Grand Theft
Oh,
Auto
wow.
3.
Wow.
Did you get it, Robert? It didn't come through yet.
Yeah, sure. I got it. I put it in. You see it?
Oh, there it is. Yeah, as soon as I made like the black bars, divider bars, like in another image, I was like, oh, that was a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Oh no, I recognize that.
What the fuck am I looking at?
The fuck?
I think this. Okay, I know this one.
Cowboy hat is throwing me off. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
that's Red Dead Redemption.
I will say the people who should get this are Robert, Terrell, and T.
How the fuck should I get this?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how the fuck I'm supposed to get this. Hold on.
Oh, okay, I'll just make a guess.
Wait a minute. Fuck.
And I don't know about the European cover on this one either.
Oh, what the fuck?
It's a classic, though.
No, we should do this every week. It's fun.
It's a classic. This is a
It's
classic.
a classic. And I'm gonna regret not knowing. Fuck
not
me.
Me too. Me too.
Ready?
There's something familiar about it, but
Yep.
it's an NES. I'm guessing.
Oh, what the fuck is this?
Do you hit enter yet there, Terrell?
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. Not yet. Hold on a
Go
second.
ahead.
Oh.
Robert got it.
Robert gave it out. Robert gave it out.
Dude, how are you so good at this fucking game?
I like
I
covers,
told you,
man.
man. It was
Can
all
we stop
It
playing
took
now?
me a minute.
That you
It
know
took
that
me-
he didn't cheat. Can we stop?
It took me. It
All right,
took me,
last
man. I'm
one.
like, what?
Oh shit.
What the fuck is?
Looks like
All right,
real
well, again,
grass.
this
and then
might-
some kind of
actually don't-
kitty
I don't
drawing.
think
That is a terrible fucking
I
artwork.
feel
too.
this one is
I don't
gonna
know
so,
what the.
this one
that
is so
looks-
gonna piss me off. I feel I should know this.
This I don't think I know actually.
It's such a weird
I mean, I was
mix
apparently I
of
know, but I
art
don't remember.
styles, and it's fucking me up. The art style difference is fucking me up.
Yeah, I don't know what this one.
You know what? I.
Here's
Fuck.
my hint, Terrell. You didn't play this game.
You didn't play this game.
I didn't specifically.
Mm-hmm.
But Robert did.
Yep.
Do I?
The fuck is this?
Fuck. I was gonna ask, do I own it? But I don't think that would help.
All right, put your guess in.
All right, hold on. Let me guess. I didn't.
Clifford the Big Brown Dog.
You ain't shit.
Go.
That's part of the title.
Oh shit! I didn't guess it. I didn't guess it.
Oh,
Damn, that makes sense. But
But look
like,
how bad that grass looks compared
That
to
real
the...
grass was that grass was throwing me off.
Oh my
That shit
god.
looked pixelated as shit.
Yeah.
Apologize to Retro and Collective for those couple that were different box arts.
God damn it.
Not like I got 4 anyway.
You were doing good though. You were doing good there.
Well, in the beginning, I was worried. I thought I wasn't
What
gonna
did I
get this.
4?
Jesus
Yeah, you had 4.
Christ.
Terrell had
Some
4.
of the shit he guessed.
Robert had
Oh, yeah,
fucking
what's-
11.
what's the-
So
what's-
angry
what's the
with
ranking?
myself
What's the
with that
ranking?
one.
Robert had
How-
11. T, Retro, and Terrell had 4 each, and then Collective gave up after about half.
Damn, wait, what? So I had 11 years. Damn, I thought it was
Fuck
closer
you,
to
Game Freak. Fuck you.
That's crazy.
Hate you,
So I can-
stupid ass
I can
company.
delete that folder and all those photos. After... That's a
Shut
lot
you
of
gotta,
work.
you gotta,
Fuck
you gotta, you gotta
you,
do, make a
Game
new one for
Freak.
next week.
21, 22, you're at the height of your game.
Maybe I'll look.
Robert
up
has
for
to
next
run
week,
the
guys.
game since he's just gonna win it every time. You
No,
have
no,
to-
I'll do it next time. How about I'll actually find the photos for next week.
That-
Yeah, I
Anyway.
like that.
I'm
Well,
mad.
yeah.
about
All right,
that.
with that.
Oh, that's what you said. Okay.
That last one
Yeah.
genuinely pissed me off, bro. I'm so pissed.
So
Even
So-
Pokemon box art is lazy. So
So
I
good.
fucking hate that.
that's some
I
trash
hate
box art. That was
I hate
probably one of the
stupid
worst.
ass
That
box
was
art.
garbage.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad box art. for
I've never
sure.
been that angry with myself. That's so fucking stupid.
So let's talk about real quick the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 trailer came out today. That looked pretty fucking good.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh yeah, it did look good. I'm very
Yeah, I didn't
very
watch it. I
excited.
actually don't-
There's less human being bullshit and more Sonic the Hedgehog shit, and I'm very happy about it.
I like when they had the day before the spat through trailer. They had all these
Yeah.
memes of Sonic and shit in there. It was so
Oh yeah,
good.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was a,
I saw
that was
that.
a whole
was pretty
that
funny.
was
I
a
saw that
whole
one.
troll and a half. There's
The
also like a
marketing
bunch
the
of
marketing for
references.
this movie is great.
There's
It's
also a
fantastic.
bunch of references for some of the adventure games in there. I was fucking surprised. Like the first trailer references the beginning of Sonic Adventure 1 when he gets on top of the buildings. Like, yeah, this is happening. They don't say that line specifically, but it's the same shot of him in the middle of the night standing on a building. He even, I think one of them references the ice cap snowboarding. There's a lot of cool
I
like
feel-
what?
I feel they listened to all the feedback from the previous one, and they were like, "Dude, it's supposed to be for gamers," and they threw every fucking game in this movie, man. Like, I feel
And
they did
even
shit
is he
like
going
that.
by Eggman or what in this movie?
Probably
Or
Eggman.
Robotnik? Because he looks
mean,
I thought it was
great.
Robotnik. I thought it was Robotnik.
I mean, it will
Well-
always officially be Robotnik, but
Well,
like
his name's
Sonic,
Robotnik, but Sonic calls him Eggman.
I think
to fuck with him.
I think it's was referenced in the earlier trailer, maybe.
yeah.
But
I
That's
even like
Sonic's
the fucking.
nickname for him.
I even like the poster that it references Sonic 2 because it
The
has
poster is so good.
the giant 2 and Sonic and Tails, and Tails like backwards.
Tails
on it.
didn't get a lot of screen time in the trailer, and somebody made the point, I think Grace from Beyond the Trailer, that they recast the voice actor from the game, so people aren't going to recognize the voice. So maybe that's why they didn't put her in the trailer much. But it's like, that's stupid.
Nobody's gonna care.
You know?
Nobody's gonna care about that.
No, I don't think anyone's gonna care.
Well, I
That
might-
All you
much.
need is a young kid's voice. I
I
don't
might
even
go
remember.
see that. I probably won't go like, I don't know. I'm trying to avoid running into his like kid-filled theater, so I don't know what the best
Sure.
time is for that. Is like super early or like later.
COVID Central.
You gotta go. You gotta go. Honestly, like if you go at a weekday, like at night, you'd be good.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
at night, but at night.
Yeah, night. Usually, like the last
Night,
showing,
night.
man, you'll get the least amount of people on a
Night,
weekday.
motherfucker.
Comes out on April 8th, which is pretty soon. I'm probably going to go see that. So that,
Yeah, next month. Yeah.
I mean, it's weird because
No.
how many
sorry.
video game movies have there been where the sequel was like, yes, that looks, I mean, they're even moving more in the right direction. Like, I'm trying to think. We haven't had a ton of sequel to video game
Yeah.
movies, but
Now, most of them don't get sequels.
yeah, that's true. Like, what was the last one that Resident Evil kept getting sequels, but that's different. Is anything else got like a sequel?
Mortal Kombat?
Oh, Mortal Kombat, yeah, the original.
Well, we don't want to talk about that shit.
No, we don't talk
Actually,
about
you might
that.
be muted or something. I see your mouth moving.
Oh, oh, dang.
Technical
Dang.
difficulties. How do you feel about Idris Elba's voice for Knuckles?
He sounds good, man.
He sounds so fucking badass. I feel
It's such a
perfect.
weird. It's such a weird. It's
Oh,
such
no.
a weird
There you go.
choice.
Would have never thought about it, but it's perfect.
It's such a weird choice, and it's a completely different feel for Knuckles because Knuckles doesn't. He's very much meant to be a real threat, which makes me question: are they gonna make him dumb like he is in the games and like coming films? Because he almost has to stay over. It makes sense though, because for people who don't know it, Knuckles is from an ancient warrior tribe, and his whole premise is like protecting the Master Emerald. They're probably doing the gimmick from Sonic 3 where the story from Sonic 3 where Eggman tricks Knuckles into thinking, oh, Sonic wants to steal the Master Emerald. And I'm like, and then probably by the end of the movie, he's like,
That's definitely going to be the plot or part of the plot.
so I find it interesting they chose Idris Elba because Idris Elba has like this overly serious voice, which works for like early Knuckles. I'm very concerned how it's going to work later on once they like, nice
Well, he's
job,
getting a show.
Knucklehead.
He's getting a show on
Yeah, he's getting a show also.
Paramount Plus.
I saw that. That was an interesting choice. I'd be curious when.
Not only a show, but they
I think-
announced a sequel already. They're going full blast with this.
Well,
Yeah.
Sega, but Sega to watch themselves because Sega will get a little bit too
Yeah, they
overexcited
get too overzealous there.
and bust
For
their
sure.
ass. I'm questioning the. I
Fall
want to
flat
know
on their
when.
face.
I want to know when the Knuckles thing takes place because if it takes place like after this film, I at that point it should just be a Sonic show.
show. Yeah.
But I'm thinking it takes place before in theory.
Probably a kind of a background.
So what was the last? When did Sonic Forces come out? 2018 or 17?
2017.
17.
So they've taken quite a break since
I'm
the last
glad
game.
they fucking need to. Good God.
They desperately needed to.
No,
So-
we got a 36 in Famitsu, remember? That shit out of here.
We don't talk about that.
So do you think
Don't
that?
bring- don't
do you
bring that
think-
shit up,
Do
man?
you think 5 years? I mean, does that give you more
36
confidence?
out of 40, by the way.
No. Here's my thing. It would give me more. I
Out
have
of
to see.
100.
I need to see another trailer with gameplay. That's what will give me full confidence. But the fact that they took so long makes me feel a
If they
little
take
bit better
this long
about it.
and it's still like a Forces caliber game, I mean, that would be pretty
I
disappointing.
don't. No. I don't think it'll be Forces. Forces was like a quick ass 2-hour game with a bunch of reused assets. Fucking hated that. Was a piece of
And
shit.
Lost World felt like they rushed that out to try to
wouldn't
get
say they
games
rushed
on the
it.
Wii U. I mean, that was a time when the Wii U needed games, and they.
I wouldn't say they rushed it as much as I think it wasn't play tested enough. That was my main issue with that.
I just wonder under different
Yeah.
circumstances if they might have tried to hold
Rush
it.
is.
But
I mean,
Came
Lost
out
World.
on Switch.
Lost World needed more play testing. That was my biggest issue with Lost World.
Yeah,
They
some
need
of
to
those-
try,
a
they need
lot
to
of
try that
things.
style again, man. I enjoyed that game.
No, I enjoyed the
Well,
game, but it very much feels like a let's throw everything at the pot.
and
see
the
what
villains
sticks
were so
to it.
like not even half baked. They just were just
Yeah.
thrown in there, like they, so random.
Those character designs bring back fucking Jet the Eagle or some shit. I don't just fucking. It's like that bad. It's
I
like
did enjoy that.
fucking
I
bad.
really enjoyed the first level. Like I played that the
It-
most in the.
It should have been what were they called in the 3D
What?
world? The not 3D world. Odyssey. The
Oh, the bunny
The bridals?
guys? Oh, bridals. The
The
brutals.
brutals.
Oh, the
Brutals.
brutals. Yeah,
it should have
brutals.
been like what they were, but it wasn't.
Yeah, some of
it
those-
wasn't at all.
There was a boss. It might have even been the last boss or close to the last boss. I didn't even know if I was hitting him or not for the most of the fight.
Wasn't
Wasn't there like weren't you on like a long like I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're talking about Zavik.
And I was
It's
just
that
like,
where you-
am I hurting this guy? Like what?
the biggest
I
problem
couldn't
Lost
tell.
World
I didn't
has
know if I
is
was hitting the bitches.
Lost World introduces a bunch of new mechanics, but doesn't teach you properly how to use all of them. Like the charge homing attack, because that was like the biggest problem with that fight. I know what you're talking about. Where if you don't let the thing charge up all the way, it won't really count as damage. The problem is there's nothing in the game to tell you, oh, you got to wait about 5 seconds before you hit him. So people are just homing attacking, like, why isn't this working?
And I
And they
love
would
how
die.
you just like fall off a stage and you're just like,
Nothing,
all of a
you
sudden
don't
it-
hear any- you gotta-
all of a sudden it
you're waiting,
restarts.
like-
I'm like, oh, I died. I wasn't sure. I thought that's where I was supposed to
You're
go.
waiting like 5 seconds before anything registers.
The best
Like, what is
part
this?
about Lost World was the Zelda area, which felt like oh my fuck,
It's more of an open world kind of Sonic feel
my
to it.
brain,
Yeah.
which felt like Sonic Jam. Thank you. Sorry.
Sonic Jam.
But yeah, that was the best part about Lost World. But like Lost World's whole gimmick was, I remember them saying it. I got Lost World for free. Nintendo gave it to me for free as like part of a promotion or something. You could pick a bunch of games. And
Oh, really?
the only one I didn't have was Lost World. I was like, well, let's just get that as a download, and I got it. But their whole gimmick was momentum, right? That's what we're gonna do it. But even like when he could run up a wall, you'd run into the wall, and then it'd be this moment where he'd stop in order to go up the wall.
Mhm.
The speed and
Okay, yeah,
pacing
yeah.
of it was just fucking horrendous. I was just like, this ain't smooth at all. I don't feel like I'm just running up this fucking wall, like that or anything. It was just so stop and start. And even when you traversed around the cylinders, the way he controlled, even
Yeah,
that
you had to.
slowed you down.
I
It
think
was
you
just,
had to go directly to the side to move the cylinder. You couldn't go on an angle, so you had to just go
That was
sideways and
absolutely.
then
That's
forward.
why I hate
just-
the game, man.
It's,
That was
it's so
awful.
you say it needed more play testing. It fundamentally needed a lot of game
Regular
design
enough,
changes.
I didn't like
Regular
this-
enough, my issue. I have no issue with the controls. I like the controls. My problem is that the game doesn't teach you how to use the controls.
I didn't feel like
It's like-
the 2D levels were particularly that good either. There wasn't that many, but I
Not very memorable.
It's been a while since I played it.
I
I don't know if
could
I would
see
quite like
that.
this.
I think
Uh,
Robert had it in his top 20 Wii U games. Or
Yeah,
Rule
I
2
definitely did. I'm
For-
sure I did. Yeah.
So
I think that was
Well, there's
desperate
only
hung-
22
that was
Wii U
that was
games,
desperate
so-
hungry.
Oh!
Yeah, exactly. That was desperate hungry Wii U times. Man.
No, well, to be fair though, I bought that. I didn't buy that game at launch. I bought that later on. I was always excited to play it. I just never played it at launch, and I remember enjoying it a lot. again, it's been what now? Like since I've beaten that game,
What, 7 years?
5,
Yeah, I
6
wanna
years.
Go back and
You know,
play that
so-
bit now. I want to see what your
Yeah.
impression.
I played it on
curious if I
PC
would still
recently.
like
It's
that
I
as
think
much.
I think control wise.
The only reason I bought it is because it came out a month before 3D World, and I couldn't wait to play a platformer on my new. On
Wait,
my Wii
it
U.
came out a month before.
Yeah, it was like
Oh,
September or
Yeah, September.
But the Wii U, all they had was platformers.
That's why
And
I
you know
love
what?
it.
I haven't played it.
2013, it really did have nothing but platforms.
I haven't played it, but I honestly believe
Great.
Sonic Boom would be a better game than Lost World.
No,
I
No
highly
way.
disagree.
no, don't. No,
I highly
reckon.
disagree.
Sonic Lost World's
Don't
my
do-
favorite
Boom
3D.
has
One was like broken. Like
That's my
I-
favorite
As
3D Sonic
Listen. As someone who played both those games to
Yeah,
completion,
that game is
Boom is
broken.
Boom has so many other problems besides the glitches. It's essentially one of those old school 4-player beat 'em up games. It's fucking ass.
Why did you do that, Clockett? You broke
The hit,
it.
the hit
shit,
detection
yeah.
is dog shit. Y'all don't understand. I fucking hate that.
All right, so let's spend like
Stupid-ass
2
game.
minutes talking about
That game
the
is garbage. No
the
redeem quality whatsoever in
Japan
that game.
focused third party state of play, which they didn't really have too much to show, but we
right.
got the cool announcement of the Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection.
Exo
Yeah.
Primal, man. Exo Primal.
Yeah, the Dino Crisis
Co-op.
troll.
Dinosaur shooter. I don't know.
God
That was like
damn.
the first thing I thought when
That
I
was
saw
mean.
it.
That's
That
what
was
And they even made the character look like, I don't know if she's in
I
every
thought it
Dino
was going to be
Crisis.
fucking Anthem 2, that shit.
redhead chick from Dino Crisis.
That
Yeah,
game
That whole,
looks
that whole
so
event
terrible.
was a troll of long lost fucking IPs. I think it was.
That looked absolutely atrocious on every level, from visuals
Really?
to style to gameplay.
What?
Dude, that
What?
looked like
Wait,
Wait.
It's gonna
absolute
be
What's
so
that
absurd.
garbage.
Dude, you literally have
That
a
game looked like
portal full of
garbage.
Yeah, but it looks terrible.
hilarious.
You got this generic looking shield. I know the game's a year plus out, but God, it looks awful on every level.
What game? What game?
Exo
Dinosaur hunting exoskeleton.
Dino
Oh,
Crisis troll.
That game looked like trash.
What about? What
bro.
about? I thought. You know what I thought that was Pragmata. What happened to that game? Remember that? Do you remember that?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that's.
Marta? What?
There's like Capcom.
I think that's
and-
2023. I believe.
I
I thought it was
understand one of those. I don't
2022.
understand why they were
That
showing
was like
it
2
so
years.
fucking early.
Don't you remember that was like 2
Yeah,
years
but I
ago
think they-
announced it.
I think
And
they
they-
announced not
where'd that go?
last year that it was pushed to 2023.
I don't understand why there was one game in here for 2023. I was like, why are you announcing this so
That was
fucking
that.
early?
That was it.
Similar to that, that's what I
It was
thought.
Dino Crisis games 2023.
That just
What's
that
it
was
called?
Really
Xeno-
fucking-
Exo Primal.
Exo Primal.
Xeno.
yeah, Exo Primer.
It's like, don't call it that, man.
It's
Like,
a
that's
dumb
such a bad
name.
name.
It's a dumb looking
I
game.
think a lot of people big up the Dino Crisis series too much. Now the first one was a fun diversion, and it worked
Well,
at
they could
elements.
make a
But
good game out of it, though.
two is okay, but number 3, I think a lot of like old Xbox people really
Garbage.
defend. Yeah, a lot they try to defend it.
Garbage.
It's fucking trash. Now, if they brought back, if they did a Dino Crisis in the RE2 engine, like
Yeah.
a Resident Evil 2
Yeah.
remake, then you're
That's-
fucking talking.
That's what they should
But,
do.
yeah,
Dude, we
not
need
some-
dinosaur games in general. So like,
No, I know. I'm not actually against what Capcom are doing.
No, no, yeah.
That's probably
It
gonna.
could
That
just
looks like
be-
a
at the
free
end of
to
the
play
day-
game too.
Well, at the end of the day, it's a video game where you look like you're going to be shooting a ton of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It could just be. It could be just stupid fun. It doesn't have to
exactly.
be massive triple A and glorious
No.
looking. But
Even the
You know,
Exo
like I said,
suits,
I-
though.
Trash.
And that's
Yeah,
I just
you
like
can
how
still
it's
say it
like
looks
it's
like
like
trash,
these
yeah.
dudes in mechs going into mech suits fighting dinosaurs. Like
Yeah.
what the fuck is?
and then
going
you had the
on?
Gundam game where you're supposed to be in this big Gundam, but then it just turns into a COD game where everything looks like a normal human
Dude, it's
scale.
Overwatch.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
that is legit
Yeah.
Overwatch. If you look at the like,
At least make me feel like I'm in a big giant robot, and not just like make it just look like a Call of Duty game when you're playing.
no,
like,
That was my
It's not even like
exact
Call of Duty.
thought.
Like it's legit. Like if you look at the actual layout of the UI stuff, it's legit Overwatch.
Is
It's
it?
so bizarre. Yeah, like
I was-
I can't even get. They got away with that. Like it's. I mean, like it's.
I was looking at
exactly
that
Overwatch.
trailer and I was waiting for the person to see another Gundam so I could feel like, yeah, I'm watching a Gundam game. That shit looked generic on so many
It was,
levels.
yeah.
Like, that was scary.
Well, you wait,
Overwatch
Reginald.
on
You
the
played a lot of
screens, bro.
Overwatch. You saw the UI, how it
Yeah.
looks exactly like
And
Overwatch.
I didn't feel, because Overwatch is a very cartoony vibe.
By the
and
way, that's
stuff, and
also free to
this
play.
just looked
That Gundam
so
game's
Call
free
of
to play.
Duty to me.
No, okay, hold on. See, I got to show you the.
Exo's free
you
to
gotta
play?
look at the
No,
UI.
Gundam Evolution.
Oh,
is
Gundam,
free to play.
okay.
The thing with the Overwatch UI is also like almost every character has like a different style of UI based on what character you play with in Overwatch.
Well, I mean, No, I mean as in the like the health percentage, the special
HUD?
power in the
Talking about
middle.
the HUD.
The HUD, that's my bad. My bad, HUD. And yeah, the HUD is legit.
And then didn't they have like a shield guy too, like in Overwatch, where you can have like
yes, that's what I mean. It's
shoot through the
legit
shield?
Overwatch. It's
Yeah.
a hero shooter essentially for
Yeah, it was
that.
it was a weird
It's
choice
hilarious.
to not have much, but still decide to have a separate thing. Like you could have thrown those
Yeah.
in with another
Also,
state of play. Like that
Like,
just.
do we
another
need a
random.
state of play?
It's
Or do we
apparently
need
free to
to-
play, by the way. I just looked
Yeah,
at it.
I
Apparently
just
it's a
mentioned
free-to-play
I
that.
mean,
shooter.
obviously, I think that Returnal DLC looks or free update looks absolutely phenomenal. Adding
Yeah.
co-op.
I figured
Yeah,
that
put
was
that
going to
out
be
in
your
the-
main
They
draw.
put that out in a
But
tweet.
yeah, that could have been its own video.
We need a state of play.
The
for
the other shit that I saw was the fucking the I like to call it edgy Final Fantasy. It's the one from the one
Apparently,
where
that
who's
plays
doing
like
it's Final Fantasy Origin. That's what it's
Neo.
called.
Apparently,
Yeah.
that plays like Neo.
Who's the developer?
Does
on
it?
that?
Yeah, it's like I don't know if it's the same team.
Oh well, you talking about Strangers of Paradise?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard it's basically like
it's by
Neo.
the same team of Neo.
they put out another demo. Apparently, this is the
Okay.
third demo. Didn't know that. Or I didn't remember that.
Oh yeah. I remember that now.
There was a couple
what a-
Japanese things here I fuck with. Like for example, they decided to port the JoJo game over to
That's cool.
the new consoles.
Well, and plus that 2D samurai.
That looks
That
good.
looked
Trek
great.
That looks
That looked
really
great.
Is
good.
that Trek
what's
to Yomi?
missing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Trek Yomi.
It's missing red blood. Is what it's missing.
I'm surprised it doesn't have
That's
that.
right.
I might agree with you there, T. At the to the intro to Tenchu Stealth Assassins, most of that is in black and white, and there's one part where where they were behind like those
Right.
Screens.
screens, and he
Yeah.
lifts his
Mhm.
sword up and die, and then the guy just blood just goes. Psst. It's all black and white.
I
just red
wouldn't
blood just
rule
goes
out the
boom on his
possibility
face.
there might be an
Oh, good.
option to make it red. You never know. And with
I
the
hope so.
Japanese, they're a little more.
What else did they
Sensitive.
taunt us with? I thought it was possibly going to be a new.
It's like noir.
Was it a new
SimCity-ish.
tactics or something? Was it the Dio Field or something?
Yeah,
You
this
talking about
Square announced 2 new games, and I thought it was for sure like it's kind of like a more realistic, not realistic, but the art style is a bit more realistic of triangle strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Even though that
triangle
one-
strategy just looks like a million times better.
I think so too.
Ironically, no,
I
this
don't
is-
mind it. They're trying something new.
that the
and
one
then
they
the other
ended
one-
with?
No, they
ended
ended
with,
with
the
Valkyrie Elysium.
Valkyrie.
Yeah,
Valkyrie Elysium.
Which looks
the
cool.
new
That looks
one,
pretty cool.
The tactical one really threw me off because the buildings were so small, and I know that's usually kind of the point. But in most of the 2D HD, it's kind of more the scale. So yeah, like giant houses just the size of the characters. Something about that just felt off to me.
Well,
Yeah, I
it's funny
don't
'cause
know.
it's funny because Diofield is being ported to everything. That's not a whereas Valkyrie Elysium is only for PS5, PS4, and PC. So I imagine maybe focused development time. That's why the Elysium game is more focused on those consoles. Whereas like since Diofield want everything, they were like, we can make something use a lesser style maybe.
I'm glad they brought it back. The last time I played it was on PlayStation 2, so I haven't fucking touched that
I had
series.
never heard of it until this one.
You want to know what narrative that this state of play enforced, being that this is the PS5?
You know what it was supposed to.
You know what it enforced? It enforced that Japanese developers don't give a shit about your graphics, son. They do not care about graphics, which is fine. I'm just saying it was pretty apparent because they singled out developers from Japanese studios. And I
I
was
very
like,
much.
And
it's
how
funny
does
'cause
Returnal qualify for that too? Because that's Housemarque's not.
that was a
Yeah,
weird
Housemarque.
choice. All
No,
things
well,
considered.
I think they
not
said
Japanese.
focusing mainly on so
the
there's gonna be
original.
there's a few that weren't
Oh,
Japanese.
okay.
Yeah, I think because then they mentioned Forspoken, didn't they?
What's Square?
But that's Square.
that's Square Enix.
Oh,
Oh,
Square
that's
Enix,
right.
yeah.
That is Square.
I mean, it looked better.
Square had a lot of stuff in this.
Forspoken looked better, and they delayed it. So I'm hopeful
it
that
didn't-
they
it
can
looked rough.
iron it out. I don't still.
That
looked
one's
like
going to
it
be
could be
PS5 exclusive,
Good
right?
game.
Yeah, that's
Well,
not
yeah.
on PS4.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't barely running on PS5. Like, on,
Oh, and I think Trek to Yomi I don't think is even a Japanese game. It's just a Japanese setting game, kind of like
Oh,
it's a
okay.
Japanese style game.
and then
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection. I definitely want to pick that up. Hopefully it's
Well, that's Konami. That's
cross-platform.
why
Konami is putting out another
I
collection.
I
Check
just
it
I just
out,
hope
bro.
it's
All right,
not
going
like
up.
on limited run or some shit like that. I just want a normal fucking
No,
release
no,
of this
no, it's
physical
not
game.
limited run.
Oh,
no.
good.
No,
And
it's
I hope
no
it's
more.
cross-play.
Konami themselves are
All right,
putting
going
out
up. I
the
very much
physical-
understand
physical version.
the premise of this whole state of play was, see, we still got Japanese developers
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
our console. That's very much what I felt this state of play was supposed to do.
I don't
didn't
think they.
about
I don't
that,
think
but
that
yeah,
proved
you're right.
it though. I actually
No.
don't think it proved it. You know what I mean?
Not
I
don't
really,
think it-
because
I don't think it
it's
helped
mainly
at all.
the only ones you picked were it's mostly Square with one game from Konami and I think one game from Capcom, right?
Which is also coming to Switch a decent amount of those. You know?
Yeah,
The
So-
Elite, what
fucking-
is it? The Elysium? What is that game?
that's Square.
Well, I mean, to be fair, a lot of the
That's very Japanese. I mean,
Nintendo
Yeah, but like
third party and stuff. A lot of this third party stuff they show in their directs is multi-plats. I mean, they don't have a lot.
No, for sure.
the multiplayer thing doesn't bother me as much.
remasters and re-releases. And
Well,
shit.
my
I'm
main
not-
thing is like if you're gonna show Japanese, we want to see it from you, Sony. You know, we want to see like Japanese from
They
you.
don't,
Like,
they don't
or-
have.
or
They
don't
don't
pick-
have.
or
They
don't
I guess
have
they
a
don't have it
Japanese
anymore, right?
studio.
That's the
All-
Or
problem.
they
either
got-
that, or don't pick like the main 2 or 3 companies that everybody gets games from. Like
They
you,
That
only,
is
they only have
weird.
Polyphony now.
They
you
missed
pick
out.
because
But
you
got
pick
Sony. Oh, go ahead.
ahead.
Sorry.
No,
No. Get your thought out, bro.
Okay, I was gonna say it's like of all the developers you could pick, you pick the big Square, obviously the RPG maker. That's fine. You got one Capcom game, which I thought we may have seen something Resident Evil related because isn't there 8 DLC that's supposed to be coming out, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah.
And then they just recently announced Street
Yeah,
Fighter 6. I thought we would see either some of the niche developers along with the bigger ones. I mean, obviously the whole thing shouldn't be just like niche or just big developers, but like if you're trying to push we got Japanese games, well, even though the list of games you showed, only a couple of them are exclusive to the PlayStation brand specifically, and you're only picked like the 3 main companies, and it's primarily a Square show.
And
It
it's
was
a lot
really
of this.
Square
A lot of the stuff
show.
is like
Yes.
Western aimed. Because when they said like Japanese, focus, my first thought was, oh, they're gonna bring some of that like anime stuff back. And I don't mean specifically like the JoJo fighting game. I mean like JRPG stuff, like maybe over like girly characters, all that kind of stuff, colorful stuff. The whole thing was just gritty for the Western audience.
Oh, it was
Mhm.
great.
And getting to
I mean,
Terrell's point, I think they do their PlayStation Showcase series for when it's like this is PlayStation games. I think the State of Plays have always kind of felt like not like, hey, this is only on
I guess so.
PlayStation. I think
But
they're-
if they're doing
I
like
mean,
Returnal stuff, I guess
and I-
I
Well, how
thought
much
you
of
were
that
gonna
stuff
be
was
talking about
only on
Japanese.
PlayStation?
not much,
Ret-
maybe one or
Returnal.
which was just an
Yeah.
update.
No, it's just Returnal. It's just
Valkyrie
Returnal.
Elysium.
Valkyrie
But that's not
Elysium?
no, that's on PC. It's,
No,
it's just Returnal.
I'm talking about console wise. It's only on.
Yeah, isn't Strange
Me-
in Paradise exclusive? I thought it was.
No, it's,
Yeah,
that's
that's
on.
on
I'm pretty sure that's an Xbox.
No,
Is it?
Stranger Bears. It's on.
Oh, they
Xbox.
got Final Fantasy 16, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do have.
Which I was
Final
surprised they
Fantasy.
didn't show that.
We haven't seen
you know?
that. Everything, and then I think Ghostwire Tokyo pre-launch trailer and stuff like that. It wasn't.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's
most
right.
of it was more. And just
That
go
game
to
was good.
Juice's point. I'm fine with multiplayer. The multiplayer stuff doesn't bother me. I just thought there would
Yeah.
be more variety and not just like from the same like 3 companies. It felt like with a little bit of because even the JoJo thing is cool, but the JoJo thing is a port. It's a glorified port. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's
it's not
big-
like
It's fine. I mean, again, that's still fine though, because it's been
Yeah.
such a long time or whatever. I don't know.
Oh no, I'm fine. I mean, it's not terrible. I'm just saying like
I think they're
I don't
just
know,
trying to space them out more frequently to try to keep momentum, quote unquote, kind of like Nintendo did early with the Switch. Like they had
Right.
they had different types, like the Monster Hunter Direct, and they had
there's another one of those tomorrow, by the way.
they had specific.
Or,
It felt like almost every month there
Bloodborne?
was some sort of presentation. You know,
Yeah,
Pokemon,
Rise does the direct tomorrow.
They had the Fire Emblem one, you know. So I think Sony's maybe that's just a theory. They're trying to just keep them
I
frequent.
thought this spoke quite well to the modern PlayStation crowd, to be honest. And I'll be interested to see how which platform Klonoa sells most on when that
Klonoa?
releases.
We know.
Oh
where
yeah,
it's
that's
gonna
right.
I'll be. I know what T's thinking, but it'd be
No, no, no,
really
no, no,
interesting
no.
to see
For
what
the
that
sake
sells
out of
was.
curiosity,
I'd
though,
be
what-
very surprised if it sells better on anything other than Nintendo Switch.
really?
Gotta
You don't
remember
think it
though,
would sell
PS4
well
is like
on,
at
PlayStation?
110 million. I mean,
Yeah.
it might.
No,
It
it's,
is,
it's,
but,
it's not even console sale wise. I'm just talking about that's why I said this state of place for me seemed to have spoke more to the modern PlayStation.
Didn't
You
speak to
think?
me. I'll
People,
tell you that. It didn't speak to me, and I
you know,
consider
then-
myself a modern PlayStation fan.
Well, I mean, you got what was here? Let me get the list up.
It's also a genre that
Literally,
dudes
Returnal's
mainly
the
don't
only
care
thing
about.
that, and Forspoken, the only two games that even.
Which, I mean, you know,
Because the
Yeah,
list of
yeah,
games
yeah.
aren't
the only thing
like.
that-
Listen,
that
I'm an
was
RPG head.
Oh,
and
and
I think
the,
only
co-
like a
the,
couple
two-
games
the
grabbed to me.
Turtles collection, obviously, as well. But again, that's,
Modern PlayStation game is damn near dude, bro. At this point,
It's
Yeah,
kinda
but
close.
even like even Strangers in Paradise, is it that Final Fantasy
The Stranger in Paradise.
game? You know, it reminds it's like Final Fantasy. I can't explain how much I hate those character designs.
well, it looks like Devil May Cry
Oh,
reboot.
it's fucking ass. It's fucking ass.
he's on a
Absolutely
character
horrendous.
design tear today that clocked it. What?
But it's like that's the Japanese version of their Western made character.
yeah,
if you
look
look
at
at main, if you look at
Scalebound's-
if you look at the main character, yeah, I was gonna say he looks exactly like the guy for Scalebound.
Oh,
He looks exactly like the dude remember they did the reboot of Dante.
Oh,
Yeah,
you were gonna
I
say
just brought that
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Dante.
It's like they
I'm
don't
not gonna lie
know.
though, that
DMC,
game,
is it DMC?
that game looks hilarious though, because it's so
He
like
always got
ridiculous.
that white dude. He might have a scar
Short
over his eye or
hair.
something. He's got a short, bleach blonde hair. You know,
Same
and stuff.
dude,
It's just
goatee
same
probably.
guy.
copy and paste shit over and over.
That's
I'm just
what
like,
they
yo,
think.
you need to
I
stop.
think
I
that's
hate
what they
that
think
design.
people like.
I hate that design, dog.
Anybody
why I
I'm
said-
not
watch?
gonna lie, that game.
That's why I keep
specifically,
saying big
Dallas
budget
is-
square.
sounds
I don't
hilarious.
trust.
With
Mid
the
tier,
fucking
they're fine.
attitude, overly confident bullshit. I can't stand that shit, bro.
No,
That's
but
what I'm
I've
saying.
never, we haven't seen this in a while, like the non-self awareness, like this guy with the "we're gonna kill chaos." He's like bullshit. And he gives yelling,
It's
"Bullshit."
ridiculous,
It just
but-
sounds hilarious.
I think
And
it'd be
I-
funny. I think it'd be funny.
I think it's gonna be like it's. I don't even think it's self-aware. Like he's just like.
It's so bad.
I
It's
can't
funny.
wait.
And Clark,
It's gonna be
don't
so
forget
funny.
in Devil May Cry
It'll be a good
5.
B-movie.
Yes.
What the hell's his name? The main
Nero,
guy.
is it?
Nero?
Dante,
No.
Nero.
Yeah,
You're-
he
you're
looks a
thinking of
lot like.
Nero.
Yeah, he looks a lot like that same character style. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the coolest looking character was V, and you know, like,
No, he wasn't. He was just a terrible character as well. I
I
hated
like-
Devil May Cry 5. Fuck me. Why'd you have to bring it
I
back
like
up
that.
again?
I like that
meant it as-
style. That like
Oh,
guy,
Really? I
long
like
hair
the-
I
guy.
mean, like Devil May Cry 5. I thought a lot of people like that.
Devil May Cry 5.
It was fine. I didn't.
I wasn't.
Oh wow.
I struggled.
I've
with that
seen
shit.
videos though. It definitely has some depth to the combat that I never touch because there's some people doing some ridiculous.
Ah,
fucking
they
shit.
they always say that, right? But do you know what I mean? It's just like, fuck. What? I'm gonna go off on one. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I need to still play it, so I'm not saying anything until.
Yeah, I mean, I own it out.
I
because
felt
I'm
like-
Waiting for my Steam.
By the end of the game, I felt like, okay, I can actually do some combos. I can actually do some damage. At the beginning of the game, it's so limiting. Like, I've never played an action game that limited you that much with your moveset. Like, it was just ridiculous. But I say by the end of the game, I was like, all right, this would have been all right if this was the start of the game because
So,
I actually
out
do
of
stuff.
Out of curiosity, because I know we were talking about it a couple weeks ago, how like Nintendo's year is kind of stacked in terms of first party, but we haven't really talked about the other two companies. What is Sony's major title
God of
this
War.
year?
Oh, they
They
just
already
released
dropped a couple
Horizon.
already.
Yeah, Horizon.
You gotta give them a break. They just dropped Horizon.
God
Last
of War.
No.
And Gran
Last of
Turismo
Us
just came out.
remastered remake.
Forspoken.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
Right.
Gran Turismo was
God
a
of
big
War
break.
is supposed-
Just
supposedly.
dropped. God of War maybe, and then Forspoken.
And then The Last of Us remastered remake.
Yeah, apparently they're
Oh, yeah, don't
remaking The
forget that
Last
one.
of Us. I'll be like,
Why?
if
Why?
they do, that's
Because of the show.
Why
Man.
in the world would you do that?
Oh, they'll sell fucking
You
loads.
gotta have the
good
game
for
I
out
them.
for the
hate.
show.
I hate.
And you think it'll
You know
be
what?
PS4 and PS5?
You know what bummed me out? I
That'd
gave.
Oh, that would be
like,
awful.
Last of Us went from a game. Why is Last of Us being
Dude, it's
poured
just a
out like
rumor.
this?
I don't believe it for a second, but if I see it, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
What? You don't believe it for a second? Why not?
It just doesn't
I
make
would
it
believe
makes no sense. What
That's what they do.
the thing that makes sense is what somebody else suggests is that they're working on like a multiplayer live service game that's like the Last of Us multiplayer, not
Well,
an
no,
actual
that's
remaster.
not a rumor. That's them. They essentially said that they've been working on a whole new factions type.
That's
of
fact.
I just feel like
Yeah.
it's.
Weren't they
I
gonna
feel
do
like
that
it's
for
one of
Final
those rumors
Fantasy?
that just became like accepted because it's been said so much. Is the Last of Us remake? I was like, I'd be
It wouldn't be
shocked.
surprising, but
It'd just be weird.
it's probably not
choice.
true. But it wouldn't be like, oh yeah, it happens and it's a surprise.
It'd be pretty. I would consider it pretty unprecedented though to have the game, then have a remaster, then have a full-on remake the next generation.
I will
Bro, we're
say,
about to get-
I guess
we're
Shadow
about
of the
to get
Colossus
Grand Theft Auto again for the third goddamn generation.
Which
Uh,
one?
We not in GTA 5.
Yeah,
for
but
the
that's
third
port.
generation.
That's not a
We
remake.
had Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow
on
of the Colossus
PlayStation
is
2.
an
We
example.
had Shadow of the Colossus on the PlayStation 3, and then the PlayStation 4.
That's true. That is
You
true.
know,
Yeah.
they don't care.
well, I just want to say also that I didn't know this, but the Forspoken. So Forspoken is also on PC, right? So if you purchase it on Steam, they actually have it marked at 70. That I think that might be the first time that a developer's like, you know what? Let's make the $70 also on
Yeah,
PC.
we'll see. It ain't gonna sell.
And if
That's
you want to talk about
interesting.
remakes, talk about Star Fox. Be the same games as
Oh
the SNES.
god.
Star Fox Zero.
I would
coming,
say
bro.
that the only difference between Shadow of the Colossus was kind of a cult. It came out late in the PS2. I mean, people that played it loved it, but I think it kind of almost had the Skyward Sword effect. I don't think it sold that well, and then the PS3 version I don't think did well. So that one, but the last was a big hit both on PS3 and PS4. It just, to me, I'd be very surprised. But you can't rule anything out.
I do
many
that
times they
studio. I
put
do
out
that
Uncharted?
studio. I
How
knew.
many Uncharted? How many times they put Uncharted out?
It's been a lot. Or a decent bit at this point.
I knew Team Ico were dead the moment I really pushed Ico to a customer in a shop, and he came back the next day and he went, "Man, what the fuck did you sell me, man?" I was like, I sold you fucking art, man. What's the problem? He's like, all you do is walk around holding this fucking girl's hand, man. Shit, man, I want to exchange it. I was like, oh. I was like,
Dude's playing
give
Call
up.
of Duty
And
right now,
I
right
could
now.
have sworn he picked up like GTA or some shit.
I've never
He's
played that game, so I
He's
can't
playing
comment.
Vanguard right now, having a blast.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I knew it was over then. I was like, yo, fuck it.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
I give up.
All right, so I feel like
Oh,
there
my
was
chest
something
hurt.
else.
That was great.
I was just
Super
thinking
good.
of something else not that long ago, and I
What the
can't
fuck you
remember.
told me, man?
But we didn't really touch on
Just
turtles.
hold the
All I
bitch
want to
hand
say
on.
is
Oh, yeah.
I can't fucking wait for turtles. I know you said what's the point in adding, some of the same games and stuff. They are, like I said, they're not the same games. It's like they are fundamentally different versions, and different regions had different designs and levels and stuff. But I can't. I think as a bundle, I think we have to give Konami credit for at least what they're doing with
I ain't
some of their
giving
legacy.
nothing.
With some of their legacy stuff in terms of like their older NES, SNES, and maybe PS1 or something. They're doing some good stuff. They've got the Gradius collection, which you can get. The Contra collection.
Contra?
I bought the Castlevania collection. It's fucking brilliant.
Castlevania.
I'll
Gotta
check
sell
that out.
something if you're not making any games.
So
Yeah.
does anybody
Here's my issue. This is my only concern. I wish it was the arcade versions of some of these games instead of
is.
the fucking.
It is.
They are the
Oh.
arcade versions of
No, I
Turtles.
thought it said the.
No, people were complaining
Oh,
that
no,
it's
no,
not
you're
the
right.
Super.
No, you're right. You're
People
right.
wanted the Super NES version of Turtles in Time. Apparently, I don't know what the
And
difference
it is there. It is there.
It's
it?
in there.
It's
Yeah.
all there.
You get the arcade
They're
version
all there.
and the SNES version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at the
They
list.
could have
Yeah.
left out the original NES Turtles game, though. I mean, that
They've
almost.
got
I'm
every
so-
every
I'm
NES, SNES,
You're right.
Mega Drive,
Yeah, they're all there.
and Game Boy and
I'm
arcade.
so
Turtles
surprised they
games.
have and all the NES games.
if there's
and all the
online
Game
for-
Boy games.
Well, no, the
Four-player?
problem was
The
the
Game
trailer.
Boy
The trailer. I don't think the trailer shows more of the NES versions instead of the.
Because I don't
arcade
think Turtles
version.
in Time was 4-player on the Super NES, was it?
No, it wasn't. That's why I said I wanted the arcade version.
So you got the
It's in
arcade
there.
version. That's online.
As long as we can
That's
play,
online,
that's
too,
a
yeah.
game night game for sure. That's like
I'm
That's
pretty sure it's all
online.
to build hype for Shredders, whatever it's called. It's
What,
gonna
Hopefully-
come
did they
later.
say what the release?
I mean, it's a
Exactly.
1-hour game, so.
hopefully it's
Uh,
not a hopefully it's not
not
a
that long.
region locked game where you can't we can't play with each
Better
other.
not be.
Mortal Kombat traumatized us with that shit, man.
Yeah, I still can't believe.
Because
that,
if we can
man.
play
That was one of the
4-player
weirdest decisions
arcade
I've ever done in my
Ninja
life.
Turtles, I'm gonna be right back and at the 7-Eleven by my grandma's house with my cousin. Like that.
I like Turtles Arcade and Turtles in Time. I just like a peak arcades beat 'em up, just co-op. They're just so playable even today. They just, to me, I think they're just
I won't
borderline
even
perfect.
honestly won't even touch any of the other games. I don't even care about the
Well,
other.
you gotta at that point. We have to if we're gonna play like.
Well, they're
like,
not all multiplayer though. Like the
Oh, they're
NES
not?
Turtles game. Fuck
Oh,
that.
oh,
no.
I ain't
okay,
even.
okay.
Man,
That's right,
I know
that's right.
everybody hates that game, but I fucking
that's
love
right.
it.
I'm not even gonna try.
I never
playing.
actually played
That game is
because
garbage.
I didn't play Hyperstone Heist.
I've
Because
never played that one either.
I had Turtles in Time.
Cobblestone Heist is shit.
Yeah, I didn't play Hyperstone Heist, so I'll be playing that for fucking sure.
Why didn't they
Genesis,
put that
right?
Platinum game in there? Platinum made C-Team Platinum.
Also, if you love
God.
retro games and you never played it, The Fall of the Foot Clan on the Game Boy is a really fucking
Oh,
good game.
dude,
I played
wow,
that.
I lived
My
on that
buddy
shit, man.
had
It's
it.
so good.
So, real quick, since we were talking about, I just mentioned Platinum and we are talking about Square. There were some numbers for Babylon's Fall. I hate to laugh, but it was like 600 peak.
I don't know.
600
Fuck that
peak
game.
viewers on its launch. Like that was on Steam, and that was peak.
That's peak.
Who knew?
It didn't
Most
look-
people were
it
like,
didn't look good.
who knew it even
That's what-
came
it
out?
didn't
Yeah, what
deserve that
happened?
many.
Sorry, what are you talking about here?
Babylon's Fall,
Babylon's
Platinum Square service game.
I feel sorry
Change
for
it
didn't
in
look-
Platinum, man.
Square Enix's Fall. Because what
Yeah,
the fuck
'cause
are they
I-
doing over there, bro?
Yeah,
I
told you.
made a
Big
tweet
budget
before,
Square
right?
can't be trusted. I told you this shit.
I made a tweet before when I said, you know, the Platinum they're always in a funny situation where I feel like they need a strong publisher when they want to get their best ideas done. They need a strong publisher when they want to get their best ideas done. And when we've seen their best ideas, at that time, the publishers have been all behind them. Even like Capcom. Was it Capcom who was behind them with Vanquish? Yeah, Capcom.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
Capcom.
yeah.
Capcom with Vanquish, which is fucking just amazing. But you know, Nintendo have been there, Sega have been there. But when they don't have the full support to do what they want to do, even when like, you know, their game doesn't make enough money and they have to make it like a cheap little spin-off like fucking Turtles and stuff.
Or Korra.
Korra was even worse.
Or, you know, and Korra and stuff like that.
Oh.
They-
It's
they
really
don't-
because I thought then the one that did all right was the Transformers one. That one was okay.
I
would then
Sorry,
want
the
them to
Transformers
go.
Devastation one is really fucking good. I love that one.
They don't want to be bought, but somebody needs to buy them.
Well, they be what was it, Inkling? They wanted to go independent, right? You know, so they could self-publish their own stuff.
Yeah.
And Soulcrester, the shoot 'em up that they've done, which I think is okay. But that's kind of how they have to start with their first game. Something like Soulcrester, and you're just like, you know, I'm not sure without the money and support. I don't know if they'll ever get to a position where they could make a Bayonetta quality game or a Vanquish quality game by themselves.
Nope.
I
I
can
don't
only
think
hope
so.
Nintendo-
Well, here's
I
my-
don't think they can get
well,
a
here's my
position.
question.
Needs...
Okay, well here's my question. What is Platinum's most successful IP?
Bayonetta.
It's gotta be
Bayonetta is
Bayonetta.
instantly my first.
Is
thought
it Bayonetta?
somehow.
Because Bayonetta, I
Yeah.
think even in the grand scheme of things, doesn't make like a lot of money. I mean, it does
Yeah,
well.
but what else? You're gonna say the wonderful
Platinum
Wonder Woman?
historically
You're gonna say
don't have-
Vanquish?
Yeah.
You're gonna say Infinite Space as much as I love that on the DS. You're gonna-
Well, how much
Turtles
did Nier do?
Manhattan, ooh.
Mad
How much
World?
did how much did Nier do?
But yeah, but that was
Oh, maybe near.
Nier
No,
would
but-
probably be the closest. If
Yeah.
it's not,
Near
if it's
Automata.
not, it's probably near.
I
Probably
think
near.
they've
Probably
done,
near.
I think
Yeah,
they've done like 9 million, didn't it? It's done well.
That
They
might
did
be.
well.
I just
that's
watched,
that would be their most successful for sure.
Sony
forgot
Legends
about Nier.
GIF or his little video
Yeah, but
edits.
Square were behind them with that, you know?
Yeah,
you know,
it was.
you know that guy on Twitter, Sony Legend or Sony Legend, where he does the
Sony,
epic.
yeah.
He did one
Yeah.
for Nier, and it was fucking incredible. I was like, Jesus, like
Yeah.
it was just I don't know what he does.
I don't care. I'll just
The problem
play
is
that game
that
to watch
I think-
2D walk, you know. So
I think
Oh,
the
yeah,
only
it's definitely
problem
Nier.
is that
That
the only
thing is
problem
always
is that they don't
$6
own Nier. I don't think, right?
They
No,
don't
that's
own it,
Square.
right.
And who?
So
No,
yeah,
no,
Bay- so
Square,
Bayonetta
I
would be
They
Bayonetta
don't
would
own
be the,
Bayonetta either.
But
well,
they own, yeah,
they
Bayonetta
partially
either.
own it Bayonetta. I thought.
Sega.
I don't think so.
Sega.
Is it
Sega.
Sega
It's
completely?
Sega.
Yeah, Sega's IP.
Nintendo
I don't think they
needs to
own
buy
more-
that shit.
I think they own like well, maybe Wonderful 101 now.
They own it
Yeah.
for 101 now.
But that's
Yeah,
it.
Nintendo gave that to them.
I don't know what else
Yeah,
they
you
own.
got that shit.
Because they don't own
I'm just
actual
thinking
chain.
that
The
now.
problem, the biggest problem that Platinum has as a developer is that they don't have a lot of heavy. They don't have enough titles to make the kind of money they need to be independent. So as much as Platinum may not want to recognize it, they're probably at their strongest as like a second party developer to
They
someone.
need direction. They need people behind
They
them.
need Nintendo's help with whether it's in making a decision here, the gameplay tweaks, something.
Yeah, because if if we had to pick one, go ahead.
I was going to say I watched Archipel, right? It's a YouTube channel, and they do some absolutely phenomenal interviews with Japanese developers, right? And you had Hideki Kamiya and fucking hell, my brain is getting late now. And Resident Evil 4 guy, Mikami,
Oh, I know
Shinji
you're
Mikami,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Shinji Mikami. Shinji Mikami was in some sense Hideki Kamiya's teacher almost. He was teaching him, how to direct and all this stuff and get in there when they were both at Capcom and everything. And Hideki Kamiya wasn't very business focused. He was just a games developer. Do you know what I mean? Just a hard.
He's like an artist, but he isn't necessarily the businessman you need.
Yeah, and he didn't really understand that, and he owned up to that himself on camera when he had his interview. He's just like, that's not me. It's not what I do. It's not what I do. I leave that to other people. I do this. Which is why he's not necessarily the head of Platinum. When you go up to the top and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just feel that we know they got the talent. They got the raw fucking talent to make some of the best video games.
They just don't have the best business direction.
Ever made.
Do they?
They do because otherwise it's like saying that about it's like if you said that about Rare, back at Nintendo with Rare that being able to.
I just made that point in the chat.
Oh, did you?
I was like, Platinum. Yeah, I said Platinum is like 2007 Rareware, bro. Like,
yeah, they
strong backing.
But Rare still made their own games, even though Nintendo were there over their shoulder saying, just tweak this, do that, or whatever. Nintendo weren't there.
Good game. Well,
Nintendo weren't there for Perfect Dark. They
No,
weren't
you're right,
they weren't there for Conquer or and stuff like this.
But what happened to Perfect Dark?
Oh, come on!
Like,
Don't.
that whole
I mean, yeah, I know.
bounced.
Well, that's just that whole Rare situation. But I'm just talking about the raw talent to make a great fucking video game. We know that they're there. It's just
Yeah,
Platinum.
but that was a different Rare. I was talking about Rare now, or
God.
Rare 2007. Basically, what I was
Because-
saying.
Yeah, that would be.
Platinum is now.
It
Like,
needs to
they're-
be said
Yeah.
always, though, like Rare from the old days is platonic. That's Rare. It's basically all the guys from back then. And that's why, hate to love ukulele. I like it, but that feels like Rare. It's built like a Rare game, when it comes to design and gameplay and that kind of shit. And Platinum Games just doesn't have that. If Platinum Games is by themselves, it's too much of a mess.
Yeah, but even Platonic by themselves, without like, even though they done Kickstarter and stuff like
They
that.
just don't have the
Kong.
funding
That's Donkey
for it,
Kong
though.
64 Rare though. That's not Banjo Kazooie Rare.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Donkey Kong Country 3 Rare with the ukulele and Impossible Lair. That's
the
not.
main problem.
Ah,
The main
that's-
problem is.
too hard.
Impossible Lair is
The
good
main-
as shit, man.
so here's the thing. The main problem Platinum has is that you have a bunch of smaller titles that can be fine in their own rights, but they're not like what you need to maintain a business. Like, you gotta have something that heavy hits like a Mario or Halo
Well, that's
or Resident Evil for Capcom
Yeah.
or Final Fantasy. You gotta have something that's almost guaranteed to make money as long as you put out like consistent quality.
yeah, that's the
Platinum
problem.
doesn't have a title like that at all.
No. They're all over the place. They're spread thin. One team's over here making garbage ass Korra. Another team's over here doing fucking Babylon's Fall. Another team's over here doing some shitty Ninja Turtles game. Like, get
And
rid
this
of all that bullshit. They're trying to make money. You know, they're doing it because they need the money. That's
Yeah,
why
of
they're
course.
doing all these different little what do you call them? What's it
Project.
called?
license games.
License game, right?
Oh.
Thank you. License game. They're doing all these different license things because it's a payday, right?
Yeah.
But you can't do that and still try to put out your own quality in a timely fashion. Bayonetta 3, like it just doesn't work, bro.
The
Like,
thing is, like,
you gotta
even when
focus.
they do stuff like Soul Crester, you know, I can see it breaks my heart because I've been watching so many documentaries on this, and like I said, it's just been my life. But it's like I can see Japan, these guys in Japan, trying desperately to get Japanese gaming back to where it was. Yeah, leading the world, and they still do in some ways with with some of the big games. But I'm talking about when they really were leading the world. And even like games like Soul Crester, you get Yuzo Koshiro on them. Now, Yuzo Koshiro, once again, if you don't know, he's the composer for like Streets of Rage and stuff like that, right? They even get him on there. You got all these great Japanese talents working together. But Soul Crester is still a very budget and niche game. You know, shoot 'em up side is one of my favorite genres ever. But it's like when they done Infinite Space. You can't expect the mass market to want to buy a strategy game set in space on a Nintendo DS. You can't expect now to build up even your core crowd that you've already got to all go out there and buy Soul Crester. I love shoot 'em ups. I'm not even interested in Soul Crester. I know a look of a shoot 'em up that I like. I could just look at it. I can see the way the ship is moving, how the bullets are coming towards you, the detail and all that stuff. I know what I like as Soul Crester. As good as I hear the gameplay is, it's just not it for me. So if you're already losing someone like me, who has played virtually every single Platinum game, and tries some of their niche crazy stuff, even in subgenres like real-time strategy stuff, I don't know. I don't know what they can do with who they are right now and the money that they have. I don't know what
that's
they can
why I had.
You need a mainstream appeal. You need something to hit mainstream. Every major third party developer has at least one title that they'll be like, oh, that's guaranteed money. As long as we put out one of these, we can financially use that money that we make from that particular title to fund other of our smaller projects. And the problem is Platinum Game doesn't have that title that just makes money. And that's the part of the reason why people think that they should just be bought by another company, preferably, Nintendo. But that's besides the point.
Right.
That's the struggle they have. They can't grip the main audience. Because like that's what every developer really does. They have their major money maker. Ubisoft, it's fucking Assassin's Creed, and then they'll use that to fund some smaller shit that wouldn't normally get made. Like their passions in the other projects, but sometimes they'll throw out their major titles just to get the money. Every company has that game, and Platinum doesn't have that game, which is why they always partner up.
You're gonna buy them. You're gonna have to buy out Tencent and shit, because you got people with their, basically their hands in their bank,
because they had to make those deals to survive.
Right, and those are some bad deals, bro.
Yeah, but see, when you trying to, it's hard when you're trying to do the shit you love, but you ain't making the kind of money you need. You got to do those partnerships. Like,
I think some studios are just always going to be like that though. And if you can't break the mainstream, you have to sit within your bubble. You can't expect every company to become a Capcom, to become a Konami. It's just not reality. It doesn't happen. It's like look at Treasure. Look at Treasure, right?
Okay.
Treasure. Yeah, I know exactly. It's like where are they? But when they were doing their thing, they still had their bubble, right? And they could work with Konami to do a Gradius, and all this stuff. They still had their bubble, and people still bought their games, and they survived until for some reason they just stopped making games. they just stopped, and no one knows
The
why.
market changed. That's the
Yeah,
that's the
I
difference.
know the market changes stuff, but it's like when we look
Alright,
at
we're
when
gonna
we
have
look
to
at
move on to.
okay, quickly, just when we look at Platinum Games, we know that they're the old Clover Studios, and then they'll do something like God Hand, they'll do something like Beautiful Joe, they'll do something like Okami, right? And then they'll go to Platinum Games, they become Platinum Games, they'll do Bayonetta, they'll do Astral Chain, they'll do the Wonderful 101, they do Vanquish. I'm just like, where the fuck are the gamers? It's like you make some great shit. God,
Yeah, I was gonna say. No, I'm gonna add
You
to
have
what
to
you're saying.
compromise a little bit though.
One of
I
those
think
series did decent in sales, and that was Astro Chain. All those games you named, we all love them. They're great. Ain't nobody buying that shit. I don't know why.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
But
all I'll say is that when it comes to the gaming industry, like anything else, you have to compromise a little bit. It's kind of like the best way I like to describe it is kind of what happened to Fire Emblem for a while. Fire Emblem was a great series from the get-go, right?
Mhm.
But didn't make any fucking money for the most
I did start it till the Game Boy Advance and GameCube days. So even
Yeah, but like
that was the first time I actually fired them.
Yeah,
When it came
that's-
to the
yeah,
UK.
'cause
So
that's when
The
they
GBA
came here. They weren't
yeah,
over here.
because the
So,
GBA
yeah,
exploded, right?
Yeah.
But once it was out, even though you were still getting good games, people didn't really give a shit. And it wasn't until Awakening, obviously, until things
Right.
blew up. But Awakening, in a lot of people's eyes, was very much a quote unquote betrayal of what Fire Emblem used to be. And I think very much that was them making concessions to get Fire Emblem out there. And it worked. It worked. And I feel like when it comes to Platinum Games, their gameplay style in this current market will always be niche. Unless the market changes to their favor, it's probably going to stay niche. So
quickly again, because I know Juice wants to move on. If there was one type of game or genre that you feel Capcom needs to do, Platinum Games needs to do, in order to find that breakaway, repetitive game that they could stick with, what would it be? Fighting
loaded
game, FPS.
And then they got
racing game.
an action
The
game
Brit-
with like a witch time kind of mechanic. I mean, that's
yeah,
their
their
calling
bread and butter is like hack and slash almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like hack and slash would be the closest to that kind of, but almost maybe like a variation of what like Koei Tecmo does with Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
If they could somehow figure out, because that still sells. Dynasty Warriors, regardless of how repetitive that gameplay style is, that those games sell.
And you can
If
put
you-
different
if-
yeah, they
jackets
sell-
on that, and it will
if you
sell
can-
even
if
more.
you can-
copies to the same people.
If you can find a way of doing some sort of hybrid between like the current like Bayonetta style and like
Metroid.
I got it.
what?
Open world.
No!
That's what you're gonna need to do today. Do an open world hack and slashy type of game. That's
Open
what
world
you're gonna
That's
Bayonetta.
asking a lot
Yes.
from people.
Yeah. To get these other dudes over here who
Yeah.
what all they care about is big open world
They
games.
can't afford it.
I know.
They would have
They
to
can't
partner
afford
with
to do that.
somebody. They definitely would have to partner with somebody.
All right, Juice, you could.
No,
All right, go ahead, Juice.
No, I'm changing
20
the
minutes later, we can
podcast
move on
title.
now.
I got
What you
nothing
changing
left.
it to?
What was the podcast title? Sorry.
I wanted,
Platinum Games.
It's what you wrote
I
when,
wanted to
when
talk
hype
about
goes too far.
how everybody's talking like Elden Ring is like the only way moving forward, and people getting really ridiculous on Twitter. But
we got 20 minutes. We have.
Yeah, you can lead that. You can lead that.
Nah. I want. It's more of a 20-minute discussion from what I was hoping. So we'll just do. We'll just leave it at the platinum, and then the other thing I guess we could talk about is Steam Deck. Something I forgot last week was, what does the Steam Deck mean for the potential successor to the Switch? Seeing, I think I might have brought it up. I don't think we really dived in. What is the high end one, like $650? And apparently they're losing money on every Steam Deck. I don't know if that's confirmed. I know the $400 one they are.
I haven't heard that.
Jesus.
Every report I've heard
said
says that there's Valve's losing significant money on each.
That
on the
wouldn't
Steam Deck.
surprise me.
It wouldn't be
Considering.
surprising, but I
all the
haven't heard
money
that.
they're still losing money.
And
Well, because Gabe Newell said
They're losing it.
it didn't say like how much, but they said that they said that price point was really tough.
Yeah, he
for
said it
them.
was painful. He basically
Meaning,
said it was
yeah.
painful.
And
So
it
if
makes
that's-
sense. I mean, remember we heard similar things just about even the Switch prices. Like when he was talking about how the light's $200, right? And they were talking about how they had to push hard to get that at $200, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That's why they
But when you
took
think
everything out of it.
Yeah, I can see that.
But you see, it's still, even though it's become more common, it's still like we're still in like, I don't know if I call it new territory, but it's definitely more uncharted.
Well, I mean,
Then-
just think of the competition for Steam Deck. Like all the competition for Steam Deck, you starting at $1,200, and those systems are even less powerful than Steam
Yeah,
Deck.
so
are. So they clearly have to be losing some money.
The main question was going to be, well, what is Nintendo's chances of having a
Right.
$300 system that's profitable? That's going to be anywhere near
That's
what
what's
the
killing
Steam
me right
Deck's
now.
doing.
People talking about 4K Switch. That shit is not happening. Because the same people saying,
It's not
"Oh, yeah, we
viable.
might get this 4K Switch," are sitting here looking at the Steam Deck saying, "Oh, it's only 800p." There's a reason why that bitch is 800p. Because it will destroy your goddamn battery at 400 or 4K. That shit is not happening.
Do you
It's
think
not necessary for one, but it's not happening because it's gonna kill the battery life.
Do you think part of the reason why Nintendo wants this generation to last as long as it is partially for the
Yeah.
prices
Could be
to go
part of
down?
it.
Yeah, because the prices, they trying to get past all this shit. Nintendo is like, we don't want to spend. I'm sure even the OLED, it was painful for them to do.
And
Yeah.
they can easily get past it because I don't know about how anyone else feels right now, but I don't feel, at least for me, that the Switch is slowing down to a point where you're thinking, okay, now it's really creaking. I don't think we're there at all. I think they can easily go for a lot longer.
Yeah, you can see it like
Yeah, at least a couple more years.
So.
That's that's on the low end.
Yeah,
I think it's
exactly.
just I think it's just more so like when we're moving into new consoles and stuff.
Yeah.
It's almost as if someone has been saying that for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But
that's the thing though. Like with a more powerful Switch, all you got to do is look at the Steam Deck to see what kind of issues you're gonna fucking have. Like, if you want, that high fidelity, because Steam Deck is somewhere in between the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. It's somewhere in there because it can do more modern things than the PS4 can
They've
do.
made a handheld, mid to high laptop. It's what
pretty much.
It's what they've made, and you have to salute them because at the end of the day, they to get these things into any form factor size is difficult enough. They obviously their form factor is quite big.
yeah, that's the other thing.
It's very big.
Right.
I'm still in the mindset that I'm like this doesn't, the Steam Deck doesn't affect the Switch in a way that some people might believe it.
No.
I still feel it's kind of like how I always went to the mentality where I just like, we always need a lower budget device that's good enough.
Well, the point is though, seeing
Go.
what it takes to get to PS4 and above level, because the Switch ain't. I mean, technically, I think if it was twice as powerful as it is now, it would be at least ahead of like Xbox One. To see like in 2022, which the tech's probably from 2020 or something, what it cost and the size of this thing to get. I mean, they're not optimized. You can probably consider maybe 80% that power with optimization, with games designed for it. You probably get to the same level if it wasn't just a PC port running on Linux and stuff. But still, I think it shows how hard it's going to be for Nintendo to stick with a handheld hybrid system and get some kind of significant visual.
I was about to say, I feel like that's what you're worried about, is the fact that we would have had the Wii U, we would have had the Switch, and then we would have had the Switch 2, and if there's no massive gap in terms of visual, fidelity and how these games look, then you might start feeling that fatigue.
You might as well just stay with
Well,
the
here's
Switch.
my question. Here's my question: what if they invest, since Nintendo actually has the dock. What if they invest more into the dock instead of the Switch itself as the
Well,
trade?
that's what we always said in the beginning, isn't it?
Well, then
when
why
people
sell
talked about Switch Pro, that's what we
You
said.
would still have it mobile, but like if your at home experience could be, because let's be real here, the Switch is made more as a handheld than it is. Like I know how they tout it as a console and a handheld, but it's really more focused on handheld than anything.
That's its selling point. You can say whatever you want. The
so
selling
I
point
feel
Yeah,
is
but I mean, would you buy a Switch
handheld.
2 if the handheld experience was the same with the Switch 1? Like at that point. So
but my question is, would you buy a better dock to improve your console
if that could
experience?
somehow, I think people already proved that's not really a practical approach.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very practical.
Because it'd have to be designed. The games would have to be designed with that in mind. You can't just plug in a dock and have it miraculously.
Yeah.
So
Third
I
parties are
think
gonna
it just
cry their
shows
ass
like T was pointing out the competition of the Steam Deck. Those things are like $1,200. They don't have Valve's backing. They can't take a loss. But that's basically
Right.
$1,000, and they're less powerful than the Steam Deck. So I'm just like, that's definitely a factor, I think. And even if Nintendo was kind of more ready to launch the next system, if they're doing a hybrid, I just think the technology's not in a spot where they realistically could
They're
and
not
sell
taking a
it.
300.
I'm still
loss.
in the mindset where I think I can't, it's not out of the realms of impossibility because we've already had, we've obviously had it before, but I can't imagine the Switch 2 being as similar as we might be thinking it might be in terms of just a new Switch successor. I still firmly believe that there would still be a few things there and a major something that will make all the difference for us to feel that jump into a new Nintendo generation, whether it's still hybrid or whatever they're going to go with.
I would agree with you if Nintendo president was Iwata and not for like I don't like that dude to me he doesn't seem to be the big risk taker type, which is fine because obviously what he's doing with Switch is working. And a lot of, if you listen to gamers, that's all they care about. I don't want the gimmick, they don't want something that's gonna be like a gimmick for their console. They like the fact that the Switch is a traditional console. Yeah, you can do, in the beginning they talked about the HD rumbles and you can still do your Wii Wand stuff, but nobody cares about any of that shit. They like the fact that you can
we
put that
say
shit in
that
your hand and
we
play
say that, but
traditionally.
even in this generation, even if development started on some things, I reckon now after Iwata passed and all that stuff, we still had stuff like Labo, we still had stuff like Ring Fit Adventure, and we're still getting them doing stuff like Wii Sports, as an example, which is still all full, motion control and everything. We're still seeing them taking risks and doing unique ideas in the software type of way because we already got the hardware. The hardware already is. If you don't think stuff like Labo and Ring Fit Adventure stuff like that
but
is.
when was Labo conceived? I don't know when that was conceived.
Well, that's what I was saying.
It didn't come out.
I'm sure
far
some.
after.
I'm sure some things were still in that conceptual stage. But I mean, when did Iwata die again? It was 2015, wasn't it? I mean, we're in 2022 now,
The
and
Switch didn't come out to 2017, so
yeah, I know, but that's
that
what
was
I mean.
clearly his.
Well, I always
invention.
thought. Well, I mean, Nintendo, because they've mentioned. I think I've read interviews before, and the Nintendo's mentioned how they've hired some people who just don't inherently have gaming experience, like game design experience, just to get these kind of off-brand, very left field kind of ideas. So unless they've changed their hiring process, I don't imagine those kind of things will stop.
No, I'm not saying they're going to completely stop that stuff. I'm just saying where
it's
it used to be
also
an emphasis.
it's also very different comparing a game to a whole console, right? Like doing a one-off gimmick for a game, if the game flops, it's not like your console screwed. But if you do a gimmick for your console and the gimmick doesn't kick, that's the whole console.
Wii U.
Or if you don't do a gimmick, you get the GameCube.
Yeah, but the GameCube isn't.
The GameCube had other.
Or even if you
it's
do
not
do
as
a
simple as
gimmick,
saying,
But even if you do, but the
gimmick, you
problem
get
is
the
the
Why
reuse.
doesn't every
Those are both examples of what happens when the shit doesn't work because
The GameCube's gimmick
it
was
didn't
art.
sell well. Neither of those sold well.
I think for me the GameCube is like it's unfair to go back and say, well, they had the powerful console, traditional control, and it didn't work. Yeah, but they also had a newcomer in Microsoft that took a lot of their market share. Let's not forget, and they also contended with Sony at that time, who wasn't afraid to lose billions of dollars putting a DVD player in their console. That was huge. Those two things hurt the GameCube more than anything Nintendo did or didn't do. Right? Like if the GameCube came out and it didn't have Microsoft to contend with, and Sony was like, no, we're not losing $300 per PlayStation 2 we sell just so we can put a DVD player in there. I think GameCube would have done way better than it did.
Yeah, we're back at that debate, which is what Juice goes on about as well, and which would all I feel like we're all interested to see. We're back at that debate where could Nintendo just release a standard powerful console?
I still think
with
like
a regular controller, and
I'm
could
not
it?
sure they will.
I still think like
Could it sell?
what even guarantees?
So here-
Everybody's
okay,
talking about a Switch too, but what even guarantees you're gonna get a Switch 2? Like what we
It
said
would-
before, maybe you're gonna get like
the
a super
Switch-
powerful home console, and they like what
Switch
we
is
said
too
before, and they
successful.
keep the Switch
They're
next
not
to it.
gonna.
Well,
They
here-
gotta have a handheld. That's just.
Yeah,
I'm about to
I think
say,
the
it's
Switch
too- it's
and the
too
fear of
successful.
Wii U.
It's too
The fear
successful.
of Wii U.
It's too.
Plus, they
successful.
can't not have a handheld because that's their guaranteed success
Yeah,
every
That's how they.
generation.
That's how they. Yeah, that's how they
Are they
make
gonna go
money.
back to making Game Boys again? Because then they can
Now,
take a
what you
chance.
could you
on a
could
home
do
console
is
only.
you could make a new system that just happens that also has the ability to cross-play with Switch games. So like, kind of like, I guess the best example would maybe like the Vita and the PlayStation 4, where you could play PlayStation. I mean, you play Vita games on your PlayStation. They could do that where they could release like a traditional
Every
console.
You're not
person
going
I
back to making a handheld and a.
No,
That's
there's
not
no
gonna
way.
happen.
No, I didn't. I
They
don't
finally
think
just
so
hit
either.
their stride with the hybrid and getting.
No. I agree. I don't think they're going to. I'm just saying if they were, I'm just saying
They
if we're
would be.
playing.
I would say that would be very stupid of them to do, because a
So more
dedicated
like-
handheld is very hard to sell.
So then the
today.
question is, if we're back into if we know we're more than likely going to get a hybrid system again, right? And we know the biggest struggle based off the Steam Deck is that it's kind of expensive to really push visuals as much as you want. That means they almost have to do a gimmick of some sort to kind of have the Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be called.
Well, they did say they wanted to have some new innovation. Something they said something like along that lines recently about about new hardware, and it's like, no, you don't. And a lot of people are like, yeah, the new innovation would be stable frame rates and decent resolution on games in portable mode. Like that would be a new.
Well, you would
innovation.
almost but that's
Maybe-
that's by default though. But
Maybe the new gimmick is the thing that people.
go
Here's
ahead.
your innovation. It's called Nintendo games. That's all you gotta do.
Exactly.
Is make awesome Nintendo games and make sure third parties have no excuse to not put their game on your system.
But that's
it.
kind of what the
You're
GameCube
gonna
was,
use that.
though. You know,
I
No,
know.
it's not.
But
GameCube
you know-
had issues with that kind of stuff. They had the little discs. They could say, "Oh man, I can't fit my whole game on your disc." Right? That happened a lot. They did that.
yeah, but that was
the
just an
controller. They
excuse
complained
though,
about
because
the
we had the
Control didn't have
PlayStation
enough
before.
buttons compared to the
It's
competition
not,
when it
yeah, it
comes to
doesn't have enough buttons.
multi-plats.
It's not really right. So they had excuses.
Well, it like I said, like Clark said earlier, it goes back to the argument. Do we think Nintendo would get the proper third party support if they were to release
They
like
wouldn't. No, they would never. They could have the most powerful fucking console
Yeah.
that you can copy paste your video game program onto, and it poops out an instant game. They're still not gonna do it. You're always gonna have that
No, they.
bias that's gonna be there.
they still don't have
here's the thing,
Grand
and again,
Theft Auto
also-
5. They still
hasn't been
don't have
approached either.
Call of Duty. They don't.
That's true.
No,
Uh,
that's
Under
like a fucking
Microsoft, they
PS3
want
game
to
at
bring
this
it though. To
point.
be fair, under Microsoft,
This
they want to
hasn't been
bring Call of
approached
Duty.
either.
Could change
The
now, bro.
N64 also was a detriment to the GameCube. Much as I love the N64, my favorite console of all time, it was a detriment to the GameCube because we had gone through a whole generation of people getting used to not having third-party games on a Nintendo console. So a lot of those guys had moved over. They went to PlayStation and they went to PlayStation 2. So it was hard to bring them back for the GameCube. It would take a couple of
It's not just
generations.
Nintendo. Everyone left
Yeah.
Japan. Everyone left Sega. Everyone left Nintendo. Everyone left fucking Neo Geo, who was still trying to hang on with their Neo Geo Pocket and stuff. So.
It's a different time. It's hard to like try to put apples to oranges. I mean, that's what it is.
Well, yeah.
I
would say Switch is placing. I think this is one of the few. I think other than the Wii, this is one of the few times where Nintendo's in a very good position to make a proper transition.
They'd be dumb if they didn't.
That's why you don't
hybrid.
wait till the fucking Switch fizzles
because
out and then put out a console. That's what I'm worried about.
As long as they don't repeat the same mistakes with the Wii, where they fucking you said wait too damn long.
But I don't think it's because the Switch is a handheld. I don't think it will. I don't think you'll have that fizzle effect like when the motion control gimmicks started. People just kind of gave up.
3DS? That bitch fell off a cliff like that. It was doing so well, and then boom, that shit was gone.
Well, I think
to be fair, the
Switch was
3DS
announced.
didn't start well either, though.
I think the
3DS was already not selling that great when the Switch came out.
It was
before
still,
the Switch came out.
I mean, it was still dominating in Japan, but
it did well
globally. Probably not. It was still doing decent until when the writing became on the wall, when the Switch was first announced, and then they started just almost every 3DS game was some kind of port remaster, or it wasn't a new. There wasn't really getting.
That's always been Nintendo's biggest problem. They aren't great with their console transitions. As of lately, they haven't been.
But they'd be stupid if they don't keep the hybrid.
Well, and I think we all agree more than likely they probably will keep the hybrid style. I would say.
No, I don't think they. I don't like that. See, I don't think they'll be stupid not to keep the hybrid thing. I know they've. It was like saying it's like. I can't roll with that completely because. Perhaps I'm still into old Nintendo mode where I'm just like they can. When they find a way, they bring something new in and they can sing and dance with it, right? And the hybrid, I know at this moment of time it was the be all and end all. But even you don't even play your Switch in handheld mode, Bailey. It's not a handheld console for you. You just want a home. Juice, I'm talking about. He just wants a home Nintendo system more than anything else because you don't play the Switch.
That hasn't changed now that you got these bad boys.
No, I haven't even played it in over a week.
I didn't think it was going to.
It's not about. It's not a
change for me.
I know.
I'm the minority.
So crazy.
Though.
I know the Switch is so crazy. But this it doesn't mean that it's the be all and end all of concepts, especially when you're talking about Nintendo. Especially when you're talking about
I don't know, man.
Terrell, he bought like the fucking OLED because he's like the handheld gamer, and his bitch barely takes a thing out of the dog.
All right, first off, you don't know the fuck. First off, I still play outside of my dog.
He called you a bitch.
How dare you? How dare you? I still play outside my fucking dog.
Called you a bitch on the slide, just so you know.
I know we're talking like Sony and Microsoft here, but if the be all and end all was hybrids, Sony have literally just lived and breathed on standard consoles. It's all they've done, and they still sell over 100 million nearly every single fucking generation. It's just as long as you have something that people find interesting, and it doesn't have to be unique. It just has to be interesting.
I guess,
and as long as you have it, then people will come. We've seen it happen before. It's just
I will say the reason why I think people think that it's more likely it'll stay hybrid because Nintendo has openly constantly admitted how they want to they don't have any interest in competing or playing that game with the competitors. So it would be, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it'd be very fucking surprising that all of a sudden we get into a new generation. They're like, all right, bitches, I'm back in the ring. Who wants these hands? My hands are ready to eat for everyone. Everyone can get it. It'd be surprising for them to all of a sudden make that sudden shift. And also the other concern is this. Nintendo, in terms of game quality, will always be top tier. But in terms of other things like their infrastructure and the online.
Right. That's another thing.
If the main concern is that for them to play the game, then they're not you might win in terms of game quality, but that'd be like the only thing you win with because everything else.
I just feel like if you don't have it a hybrid, then it's just going to be a handheld. There's no way, I can't see any way, shape, or form. I'd bet my life, I'd bet my house, I bet everything. Their next system is going to have a way to play it on the go. There's no way they give up that handheld market. That is their bread and butter. I mean, what would Animal Crossing have sold if it was just a home console? What would the Switch be if it was even a really good home console? Unless you got some gimmick where grandmas are going to buy your system again, that they know that that's not a formula. They've even said that that's not a sustainable formula. They don't buy many games. They don't come back for the next system. They're not going to give up a handheld. So either it's going to be a handheld only or it's going to be a hybrid. That's just my feelings on it. I see no.
Right.
If they do a handheld only, that are so against everything Nintendo has done throughout their entire history. I find that almost an impossible scenario.
That's why I said I think hybrid, but
it just
no way. You think
handheld only as a generation?
I don't
is almost...
think it's just going to be a handheld, but
what's more than likely
anything. It would be that over just a dedicated
compared to a dedicated home console or a handheld. What do you think would be more likely? I'd say it's like not even close, but that's just my. Anybody else have a?
Well, if they were.
I mean, that's what I said earlier. And if you're asking if the next thing would be only one or the other, I would say it would be only home console because they can keep passing the Switch off as a handheld.
True, I would agree with that. They would just turn the Switch into.
Well, then you got.
They would lose so much of what they are if they just done handheld only. Because just in the chat just now, someone asked me, "Do your kids love the Switch?" I said, "The Switch, like every other Nintendo console, since my kids have been alive and I've introduced games, Nintendo consoles have been the home center of entertainment for all of us. We all get round, we all play Mario Kart, we all play whatever. Yeah, that the Nintendo always been about." Sorry, go on to.
How old are your kids? Is what I was asking.
My oldest is 13, and the youngest is 7.
So they're Wii U to Switch, basically, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So
yeah,
the
and
Wii U
the Wii they started off on my oldest.
Okay, yeah. So Wii U basically, or I mean Wii, it was Wii, right? Everybody had one of the fucking things. Everybody played that, right? Because it was the gimmick of the Wii. Wii U, again, not a big selling console for everyone, obviously, but it is a good family console, right? Because it has, first, especially if you had a Wii, you got already all the controllers and shit you need for player couch co-op and all that kind of stuff, right? And the Switch, the biggest thing is your kids, my kids, they can go like this and walk out of the goddamn room and go anywhere they want in the house and play that shit. If it wasn't for that, I don't think my kids would like the Switch as much.
Or the other big thing is that you just take off the Joy-Cons. I know it's easy to forget that, but the Joy-Cons are still a fundamental part of that co-op experience, whether it's in portable mode or TV mode. Now, in terms of handheld,
work.
Well, yeah, in terms of being handheld only, if it was handheld only, I still fundamentally believe that they would have a concept all the way for you to play that on a TV. And then when you start thinking like that, you think, well, why not still just have a fucking dock? It's I just.
Well, my kids all had a 3DS
to abandon
too.
the TV, to abandon the TV completely, I can't even.
To me, that's how I feel about abandoning.
Kids have no problem abandoning the TV. My kids don't.
My niece has had the Switch for 3 months. She hasn't even used the dock yet. But
my kids barely play.
But I think you're saying.
What I'm saying is, I cannot see.
Right now in this podcast, that's 2 people against 1.
I cannot see Nintendo giving up
we don't
a
have
handheld.
It's only samples as we got.
As much as you can't see them giving up the TV, I can't see them giving up a handheld. Like, that's, to me, of the 2 choices, they're not giving up a handheld.
Also, as a teacher, you know what kids come to school playing? Nintendo Switches. They have them in their backpacks. They play them all the time. That's a big reason that's it. So they take like you said, they hand off the Joy-Con, their Smash Brother in the corner over there. I see it all the time. So that is a big part of why the Switch.
And I'm not saying it's a huge gap. I'm just saying if I had to pick, I don't see Nintendo giving up a handheld at this point right now. I just don't see them.
It also leans into the other issue because if we played the game and said they wanted to be like a home console, like mainly a home console like PlayStation and Xbox, right?
Yeah.
If you're not if we're dealing with the same like library, right? You're now fighting against PlayStation and having I'm trying to think Call of Duty all across their systems, and Nintendo still we can't Nintendo wouldn't be able to play the same game because I think one of the things that helps Nintendo out a lot, and I don't like admitting this because I don't view it this way, but I know a lot of like mainstream gamers would view Nintendo as their secondary console instead of their main console. So like if you own a PlayStation 5, if you're one of your kids probably owns a fucking Switch. That's you know why? Because Switch works very well as a secondary console. It's one of the reasons why I don't think Xbox hits the same way because Xbox doesn't have that same factor that allows it to be in the household in some way, shape, or form. If you take away the handheld portion of it, it's not
taking away a big part of the market.
I'm not talking about taking away the handheld portion of it. With going into the mind of if they were just going to have one or the other, if it was just going to be portable, right? In my mind, I'm like, what is the benefit of not being able to play on a TV from a Nintendo point of view, based off what we got with a Switch?
For us,
if they really wanted to, right? That dock didn't need to cost as much as they charged separately for it.
Ridiculous.
We know it's a cheap piece of plastic. It got a HDMI port and all that stuff. It doesn't cost them fucking anything. But what's the benefit of not having being able to connect to
talking a
TV
hypothetical. I was just basically asked the question.
What we're saying is,
hypothetical, what do you think they value more? And I just can't see it.
I mean, of course, they value that the handheld market has always proven.
That's all I was asking. I wasn't
to be
realistic
the biggest money earner, which is why the Switch has bridged the gap between both worlds. Yeah, we could see it breaching the gap between both worlds, which is why it's been so successful. But just in my mind, to remove half of that and just focus on one, as if that was the all-time biggest selling point, you're still losing. Even if it was a smaller portion, you're still losing that. And really, cost-wise, what's the point in losing it? How does that affect them not being on the TV?
That's why I said
and it just
dumb. That's why it gets back to what I said. That'd be dumb not to do another hybrid. I mean, that's the core of this whole discussion. I'm like, I agree with you, but I was just throwing it out there. I just thought it'd be an interesting question. Say, what do you think? If they had to just pick one or the other, which way would they go? Which not everybody answered. So
if they had to pick one or the other, then they would go for handheld.
Yeah,
I think that guarantees you 60 to 80 million.
Nobody's coming to school
because even just in handheld, even if it's just a USB dongle that just connects.
Even if they just had a handheld, I'm still gonna. If they got Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever, the next Zelda, I'm gonna get it. Like
if
they did with the 3DS.
I would be depressed as shit. But
if it was just a handheld, I'd be depressed and sad and
it'd kill me.
Shit.
But I'd get it. I had 11 first-party games on my 3DS. That's all I own physically. I own two or three more.
I don't get it.
That's like this, right? Like, what if it's a handheld that's like this? That it doesn't have the dock and all that stuff, but you can still put a this. You can do AV. You can still put an AV cable in here.
Yeah, you always got the HDMI, USB-C to HDMI adapters and shit. You can make it work. But anyway, let's.
You know why I would want them to go handheld? Like I would think they would go TV, but I would want them to go handheld because then at least we get fucking themes back on that shit.
Street Pass, motherfucker.
You
get Street Pass back? God damn.
I'm gonna get none of that shit.
Why doesn't the Switch have Street Pass? It should have Street Pass. It would have done way better than what the 3DS did.
Actually, I would agree.
No new Ring Fit. No new Wii Sports.
We're still waiting on Netflix.
You know what I'm saying? And that might never happen because Nintendo don't want to come up out that.
But we got brand new avatars. They're still working on things.
I mean, that's true. Look.
Hey, look. They still working on shit.
Hey, look.
I
We
like
got
that whole
Twitch-
idea though.
We got
I
a
do like
Twitch
that whole
app.
idea.
All right, damn it. We have a Twitch app. They at least they're doing something, I guess. They're doing
God
something.
damn. Oh, I forgot we got a Twitch app. That's some sad shit, bro.
Yeah.
You know what? There's still.
Juice can watch just streams on Twitch.
I don't think I downloaded it on Switch. I have it on my TV now, so.
It works pretty well.
The crazy thing is, there's still streamers, there's still YouTubers who won't show Nintendo content because they just don't want to deal with like having like potentially their stuff get demonetized, and still today. Like,
wait, but Nintendo hasn't done that for years, actually.
Yeah, but it's the stigma. People.
That's true. That's true.
There's always something with the music. There's you always hear something.
The music is probably the only point of
but
concern.
even the music won't get you copyrighted like that.
And that's only if you're like just sitting on the screen and letting the soundtrack just start playing.
You gotta be talking. You gotta be yapping. You gotta be.
Come on, it's not just Nintendo. At least with us.
It's Nintendo who tried to force people into some bullshit program to allow them to
what was it, ACG or whatever? The dude, he reviewed Elden Ring and he just praised like the horseback as the greatest thing in any game, the greatest horseback riding in any game. And I'm like, this dude. And then I remember he talked about he wouldn't review Breath of the Wild. Nintendo doesn't always send out review copies, so he can't have if you don't have your review out in a timely fashion, why even put it out? And B, they were still, and this was 5 years ago. Obviously, they were still a little more about that. But I'm like a legit reviewer is worried that if they show Nintendo that there could be, but that might not be true at all. But it's still there.
I disagree with that premise that if you don't have it, you got to be early. That's partially true.
That's partially if you have a bullshit ass review.
Arlo did a fucking review months later, and that shit's over 1 million views.
I think it was like a year later.
You know what it boils down to?
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say a year.
It boils down to the content creator. That's what it boils down to.
Well, when you're also, if your review is like, is this game? Should you buy this game? Kind of model of a review, then you want it out when the embargo lifts.
And by the way, it was actually 2019. It was actually 2019. It was. I just looked it up right now. It was 2019.
It was that long after, huh?
Yeah.
So
it boils down to if you have respect for the reviewer, you're gonna wait for their opinion.
Yeah,
it's the same thing with
the content creator has to dictate that kind of quality.
It's the same thing with Edge Magazine. Edge Magazine, they could only release their magazine once every month. Right.
There are people. Think about it.
They missed that game. They'd have to put it in the next magazine.
Well, think about it. People put out
for their review.
People put out like full blown critiques of games that have been out for like 10 years.
Yeah, I mean,
there's one of them. You're looking at him.
I
do that shit every month.
Well, the Sphere Hunter, she just did like a whole breakdown of, what was it? She did the Resident Evil series. She's done Devil May Cry, and then she did, I forget the last one. And it's like, it might have been Resident Evil 4. Yeah,
this dude just did
big guy,
special forces and shit.
The completionist.
Yeah,
he did Jack and Daxter. Yo, go watch it.
But anyway, let's get out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Good discussion. And next week we're gonna talk about the topic I planned for tonight, which is and Ayers brought it up. It's like just a teaser. Elden Ring's this new hot thing, which happens a lot. Red Dead Redemption, similar stuff. But for some reason, it's just breeding all this, what he called Breath of the Wild slander. And it's like, that's exactly what I want to talk about. I've read so many. I was like on Twitter for like a half hour Sunday morning, and I see an Elden Ring tweet, and it's just the disrespect thrown towards Breath of the Wild, man. It's just ridiculous.
Put it on his name, but put that respect on the name, man.
I mean, they've been niche for so long. Let them have it.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll talk about that next week, and we'll see you then.
Peace.